That's the history of Latin America, man. is you liberalize a society, try to build a welfare state, and like progress forward, and then that all collapses, and it becomes tyranny and anarchy, and then terrorists and gangs take over your country, and then to fix that, people vote in a strong man who comes in and
solves all the problems, and the things are great.
Solves all the problems, and it eventually becomes an authoritarian in and of themselves, and then the right wing kind of authoritarianism squeezes the population so much that they decide they don't want to live under that anymore. So then hey, what's up, after?
Hey, what's up, dude?
First, man.
Yeah, definitely. For you made it within less than a minute.
Then we get ANCAP Man come in to save everybody.
Well, that's the first time that's ever happened, so I don't know what to think.
I've never seen a politician with the chainsaw.
No, but he's also
a lot more in the future.
He's just also the first libertarian ever elected to head of state in any country.
At this rate, possibly also the last.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes for him. He's accelerating the economic decline so that they can just hit rock bottom and actually like touch grass, and then I don't know if the country can come back or not. But it's probably good to just admit reality about that country's economy because it is fucked.
But, I mean, that's it. How many people are going to die in the process?
A lot.
But the country's just going to be in a slow death spiral forever. It's been in a death spiral for the past 40 years.
Objectively, do you think the costume looks cool? ANCAP Man? No, it looks terrible.
That orange and black thing he was wearing? Nah, dude, that looks dumb as fuck.
Yeah, that was cringy.
He looked pretty badass with that chainsaw.
That was cool. He didn't have a costume on for that.
So you said objectively, do you think the costume looks cool?
You see his solid gold chainsaw? You see the solid gold chainsaw?
I want a solid gold chainsaw.
Yeah,
is the solid gold chainsaw effective?
I don't know, but some
guy
made it for him, but it looked pretty dope.
You'd probably want diamond-tipped blades on
that just seems like some really obnoxious, gaudy thing that
gold is one of the softest. Yeah, I was going to say gold is one of the softest metals there is, so probably not.
I mean, unless you need your chainsaw to conduct electricity really well for some reason.
Yeah.
Electric chainsaw, man.
There you go.
There you go.
How are you doing, afternoon, Tim?
They make electric chainsaws.
But not ones that'll like shock you if you're getting cut by it.
No, they just run on electric.
Right.
I mean, how many things do you need? I'll just do easy because I want to do this in one day. Good. What about? Hey, we're doing good, man. You know, just watching the end of the world slowly happen.
Trying to deal with this Texas winter. Oh, that's good stuff.
Yeah.
How cold is it there?
Do you guys still have power?
Did Ted Cruz go to Cancun again?
Yeah, he did. Texas sucks shit at handling cold weather. Is that it does?
Yeah. We're up in Minnesota, and it's 0 degrees right now. So.
Wind chill makes it like what, -20?
No,
it's like -20.
Nah, it's afternoon.
With wind chill?
It's like 9 degrees now. It's
well, it wasn't this warm
yesterday. It's like -5 this morning.
Yesterday it was like -20 in the middle of the afternoon.
Well, the wind chill was.
Sunday and Saturday.
Still have power.
I don't know. This is
almost got in an accident.
Oof.
That's not good.
Yikes, dude.
People slipping on the ice, I assume.
Dude, we're still decently warm for January.
We are today. We just weren't the last couple of days.
Yeah, yesterday was. I mean,
I was outside yesterday. It was so bad.
Well, you know
Were
what?
you outside on Saturday or Sunday?
A little bit, but not a lot.
Yeah, it was not great.
Car spin on the ice.
Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah, it's dangerous.
Yeah, you just got to take your foot off the gas, man.
That's
the number one problem with driving on ice is putting momentum in your vehicle.
Texas doesn't salt the roads. Yeah. Even here, they don't always do a good job of it.
No, they don't.
It's the city streets, especially the city you guys live in. City streets are horribly done.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, here. Yeah. Oh yeah.
State of Minnesota takes care of the highways.
The highways, highways are taken
city
care of.
infrastructure is kind of
But
St. Paul does not do a good job.
You know what I wish we had? One of the few things that Russia does right is in the winter in Russia there are
vodka all over the streets.
Well, they do that all year, but in winter
they don't pour perfectly good vodka on the streets. That's what they use the water.
Okay, well the people drink the people drink the vodka and then they spill perfectly good people all over the streets.
There you go.
Now that's true.
But yeah, so in the winter in Russia, at least in some parts of Russia, there are accessories you can buy for your car to swap out the wheels like little tracks.
Oh, like
okay.
Yeah, like a snowmobile or something, right?
Interesting.
You can also get skids.
It's only in Russia. It's always winter.
Some parts of it are.
Fucking Siberia, dude.
There are parts of Russia where it turns into a big fucking swamp in the summer, though.
Well, especially now that
So
it's
just got all of our upgrades taken away from us.
Alaska's a big fucking swamp now, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard them beavers are causing global warming.
They are accelerating it.
Yeah.
They're almost doing more damage than people.
The beavers alone, by moving north into northern Alaska and Canada, I think they expanded the surface water in the area by like 8%.
Jesus.
They're just moving up north and damming up the rivers and streams.
The beavers are finally getting their revenge on us, taking all their land.
So Revenge of the Beavers. It's gonna be like that Simpsons episode with the dolphins.
Yeah.
But it's just beavers instead.
What about the Pisleys? Are they adding to global warming?
What's up?
The Pisleys.
I haven't heard much about what the Pisleys are up to.
Okay.
I know the fucking wolf spiders up there are eating themselves. They're in like a state of like hyper cannibalism.
Well,
good.
Means that
We should get rid of
the largest ones will survive.
Yeah.
Oh god.
All the
I don't like wolf spiders.
The reason it's happening is it's now warm enough for them to have two. I don't know if they call them litters or what, but
you all have a cinematic crush.
Like a famous actress or something that I don't know.
I still think Elizabeth Hurley's one of the most attractive people to ever work in Hollywood.
Yeah. She's pretty fine.
Mm-hmm.
As a little kid, Lucy Lawless as Xena for sure for me.
Sure.
And Sarah Michelle Gellar as Buffy.
Sure.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
Now I don't know so much about now.
I don't know people who are like. People who are like relevant right now.
Yeah,
I don't even know.
I kind of had a thing.
They're actresses from like more my childhood era. Like,
yeah, I mean, I kind of had a thing for Olivia Munn for a while. But
the tough women. I mean, I don't know. Those two were pretty fine, man. So this is like a roguelike mode, this update, but it also has story as well. We've been mysteriously invited to take part in some sort of Valhalla trial.
Somebody who's like younger and more relevant. Jenna Ortega is very.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, she's pretty good.
Bryce Dallas Howard, maybe.
Yeah, she's good looking.
She's good looking too.
Well,
no soul though.
No soul. That's kind of.
Well, I just meant the ginger joke, but
I know you.
What show? Sorry, which show were you talking about?
I forgot how much I enjoyed Kratos' semi-auto spear throwing here.
Oh, God of War. I mean, maybe as a, like, car crash you can't look away from.
Look, it can't be as bad as the Halo show.
I don't know, man. It's gonna be on Amazon, just like
like Rings of Power.
Yeah,
you love Rings of Power.
I did not love Rings of Power.
That was objectively the best Lord of the Rings.
Did enjoy the porn parody Cock Rings of Power.
Cock Ring of Power. That sounds more fun to watch than Rings of Power was.
Lord of the Cock Rings.
Lord of the Cock. One cock ring to bind them all.
In secret, he forged his own cock.
They're just envisioning all like the Nazgul like chained together by their dicks.
9 cock rings for the kings of men.
They are kings no longer.
But you know that they're gonna fucking jump ahead to this. They're not going to even try and adapt any of the original games. They're going to just skip ahead to this.
I'm surprised by that.
Yeah, it is going to ring hollow because I mean, like, yes, you could play these new ones without playing the old ones, but I think they are much more meaningful if you played the old ones.
That's one of the things that I think is also going to be. Oh, go ahead, Alex.
Oh no,
well, I was going to bring up different things. So you can go first.
Oh, I was just going to say I don't know how you. Theoretically, these TV shows made on video games are to introduce these things to a larger audience, right?
Yes.
So like, you've got to at least, I'm not saying you have to go through a whole backstory or origin story, but you probably should. You know, it's not like some superhero property people have seen the movie for a half dozen times.
Right, like, if you don't know games, you don't know Kratos, you don't know who the fuck he is or why you care about
So the idea that you would start in, like, Norse mythology, I mean, are they going to take the time to even explain that he's Greek? Like, or you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, and you can't use our shield too. That's also part of the curse that attached itself to us. Yeah, as soon as we walk
sort of windmill your way through this.
Well, it's also gonna, because it's a roguelike mode, will also get tougher as it goes along.
Okay.
You think the show's gonna...
Thoughts on Trump's record-breaking victory? You know, why is that a surprise? Everybody knew Trump's gonna win.
Yeah, I mean, it's been one of the most pointless primaries in history.
It's barely news, to be honest.
Yeah.
Front runner, still the front runner. Who knew?
Yeah, right.
I mean, he did win the Iowa caucuses by double what George W. Bush won them by in 2000, which was the biggest victory before that.
But I mean,
who else is even trying to run against him in any way?
And the other thing is that Trump has fanaticized the Republican Party in a way that no past candidate has.
Oh, right. He's got like that straight up cult of personality shit.
Yeah. Well, Trump also brought a new base into basically stole the old base of the Democratic Party, which was the white working class. Mm-hmm. Pushed white professionals completely out of the Republican Party, which used to be the base of the Republican Party. So Trump also basically made the party his own thing. So the base now is people who Trump brought into the party. Right. And the old base is gone. So
right. The old base, the people that used to vote Republican are now Democrats. So
yeah, or
at least independents. Yeah.
And really, what's the alternative? You know, like who's
dead? Yeah, that's true. A lot of them are just dead.
People forget an election in 2000. Like at least a fifth, especially in the Republican Party, at least a fifth of the people who voted in that election
were senior citizens.
Are dead, right? Like undeniably, probably higher than that.
Plus, I mean, for a lot of those people, what's the alternative? None of those people are going to vote for Biden, and there's no like independent party.
The only thing,
who's running as an independent that's getting any attention right now?
Yeah, RFK kind of fizzled out.
Right.
I will say, Nikki Haley is kind of like running this campaign of like
try
get those old school Republicans and try to get some Democratic votes because a lot of states will allow you to register at the last minute. Or
Cornel West.
Cornel West does not run a very impressive campaign at all. RFK is miles ahead of Cornel West as far as organizing goes, the process of getting on ballots. Like, I mean, Cornel West will probably appear on the ballot in a state like ours. Because anybody can get on the ballot in Minnesota. But to get on the ballot in California or New York or something like that, RFK might. It's still a massive job to do that. None of the other ones will make it. Maybe Green Party.
Well, wait, correct me if I'm wrong, but is Cornel West not running as the Green Party?
Cornel West was running as the Green Party, decided to run independent, and then Jill Stein's running again as the Green Party.
I'm sure she'll do great.
Yeah, everybody loves Jill Stein.
She did well enough in 2016 for the Democrats to try to pin the entire loss on her.
Yeah.
I'd rather have Cornel West than just... but I don't see him getting that far.
Yeah, I like Cornel West.
Yeah, I actually, like, if I was like a personal choice, I actually do like Cornel West, but yeah.
I don't know much about him other than he makes great canned meat. Claudia De La Cruz is also running. I have no idea what that is.
I don't know.
Yeah, her I'm not familiar
with. Running
with.
as an independent or what?
Yeah,
I don't know who the Libertarians are running this year.
Ron Paul's corpse.
That's about all they got, right?
I think he's a zombie at this point.
He kind of looks like one.
Does he still have that blimp? Could they fly him around?
I don't know.
Valhalla requires you to perform the ritual of selection.
It was funny.
She was running for the PSL party.
Okay.
Progressive. I don't know what PSL is.
Pretty shitty libertarians.
Good. Now, let my sisters speak to
Party for Socialism and Liberation. That doesn't sound good.
Yeah.
That's going to bomb at the voting booth no matter what their views are. People are going to look at that and go,
just based on the name.
Commies. They're all commies.
Yeah, that's going to instantly be recognized as the commie party.
Did you guys know that part of the reason why Vaporwave is dying off is just got taken over by the... it got politicized, so now there's...
Vaporwave, like the visual aesthetic?
No,
music style?
Both.
Oh.
It got taken over and politicized because on the right came out with Thatch Wave, and then the left came out with Labor Wave.
Oh my god.
And people are like, I don't know if I want to get into this genre if everybody's making it like into like commies and Nazis and shit.
Good god.
We can't have anything.
I can't have anything nice.
So,
It's about the way you
gonna have to go back to listen to shitty pop music.
I won't do it.
guide you down a path, but Valhalla will be the judge.
You'll listen to Billie Eilish and you'll like it.
I've actually never listened to Billie Eilish. I don't think I've
only ever
she
heard...
She just looks like
Do you all play Warhammer?
No.
Like the board game?
Like Warhammer 40K?
Games? Yeah.
I think you're the only one of us that's tried it.
I've tried some of the video games. I've never played the board game. I don't have money for that. Like, who the fuck can afford $500 for one fucking little minifigure you gotta paint?
That's gotta be like your only hobby if you're hey, what's up, Tyson Fox?
Hey, how's it going?
What's up?
Yeah, I don't really know anything about Warhammer, honestly. There are some video games that have caught my eye.
Yeah, you were interested in that Space Marine one.
Yeah,
Space Marine 2, I think.
Yeah, I'm curious about that because it just looks like a solid third-person action game.
Yeah, I've played a handful of video games, and I know. I'm just asking if people are calling Warhammer Wokehammer now. I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, I haven't heard about that at all.
I only know whatever I've absorbed from just random cultural osmosis, and then a handful of video games I've played. So I couldn't tell you if it's woke or not.
I mean,
or what people even mean by it when they're saying it, because you never know.
It doesn't seem like a franchise that would be woke to me, but Wokehammer, am I right?
I mean, there is a lot of genuine criticism for the forcing and the entertainment of some of the woke stuff. There's a lot of people who are.
I want to play Warhammer now because I like the joke.
Well, people just say woke because as like a substitute for anything they don't like.
Well, shit, it was like when fucking the Dead Space remake came out, and people were pissed because it had gender-neutral bathrooms.
Yeah, right.
That was woke now, and some people are pissed because there was a black guy in it. Like, they think the remake added that, even though he was in the original game. They're like, it's woke now, they're forcing black people down our throats.
Right, even though, he was like one of the main characters in the first one. Anyway,
why you would care about having a black character in your game?
Because there are people saying that are genuinely racist.
Yeah.
Because they're actual racists.
There are so many people like that online who bitch about any and every game that has a brown person.
Look at Alan Wake.
Yeah.
People were complaining about Saga and that.
God help you if you make a fantasy game that has a black character, too.
Right, especially then.
I only care when you just start throwing Mary Sues in
people get pissed off about everything now.
Right. Mary Sues are horrible characters that I don't give a shit about or want to watch.
Well, it's when a corporation tokenizes a minority, throws one in there to say they did it, and then but clearly didn't give a shit about the character in any real way.
That's a
big difference.
I mean, that's kind of where the whole strong woman thing went.
Right, that's where that joke is. Yeah, that's where that joke came from.
The tokenizing is bad enough, but it's just like when you just make these two-dimensional characters signal how virtuous you are. Like, look at these absolutely perfect...
Right, who have no flaws.
Yeah, that's...
I mean, a lot of times that goes hand in hand with the tokenism, too.
Yeah, that's true.
But then,
I'm just saying,
because they're scared to make an actual character is the problem.
Right.
So there are plenty of cases where you can have legit criticisms and stuff like that, but people have kind of co-opted that and are now just like, anytime I see a thing I don't like, I'm going to use woke as the buzzword.
Exactly. Which is why my question, anytime anybody says it, is what do you mean specifically? Mm-hmm. Like, what are you specifically talking about? Because, maybe someone does mean...
What do you mean I'm a strong will with no flaws? I want to see myself in the media. Alan Wake more like Alan Wake.
Again, the people do... They do it with anything.
Yep.
They really do.
Tie us some foxes from Harlot. That's weird.
But how are you doing, Tiresome Fox? Hope you are doing well. Good to see you.
I can go on tour with this. I'd go to your show, man.
I'd absolutely go to your show.
I suppose this is about how you remember Jotunheim, eh?
So Valhalla just like pulls from your memory, just kind of randomly.
Convenient way to reuse assets.
Very much. Yeah. Well, I mean, hey, this was free.
Yeah, I'm not bitching. I'm just observing.
A native to them, respected by all, and experienced.
You got a mastery.
Experienced enough to know that a shared power.
Yeah, and then like you could use those to get like perma upgrades in between runs.
Gotcha.
Even so, I make her wield it alone. Without Odin, the realms have a chance to
Doing
forge
good?
a new
Doing good. Hell yeah.
Nice, nice.
Enjoying the new year, hopefully. Hopefully not too crazy for you yet.
Is the creator of God of War involved in the show? We're doing all right.
Yeah, we're doing pretty solid.
It's fucking cold here.
It
But that's about it.
continues.
Yeah. I don't think the creator is involved. Well, because the creator of God of War is the guy who directed the original game is David Jaffe, who was behind like the Twisted Metal games, and he only worked on the very, very first one, like literally only the first game. So he hasn't really had a say in even like these later. Like David Jaffe's plan for the third God of War would have been to kill Zeus in the first 15 minutes of the game, and then have a black hole open where every pantheon came out, and then you killed all, and then you like.
Isn't that the one where you become Jesus at the end or something?
Kratos.
Oh, wait, that's right. He goes to like bring the incense or whatever to baby Jesus at the end.
Yeah, like Kratos would have been one of the three wise men visiting Jesus, and then that would have been how God of War 3 ended.
That would have been bad.
Yeah, I didn't like his idea at all. Cory Barlog is probably, if there was someone from the games to get to help with the show, Cory Barlog would have been the guy.
Huh? Now that sounds like a fantasy creature.
It does, well, Balrog, right?
It's one letter.
Cory Barlog was the director of God of War 2 back in the
It
day.
makes me think of a Balrog with like a fake mustache. My name is Cory Balrog.
Trying to pass himself off as like a fucking video game developer.
That's hilarious. But Cory Barlog directed the second game from the original series, and then the 2018.
Didn't like what he had to say about the new God of War game.
Yeah, he does not like these newer ones.
What's his problem with them?
I kind of understand what he's saying in a certain capacity, but not. But I disagree
The
with.
capacity that he spoke English.
Well, the part that I agree with is that some of these new games, people look at them and they act.
He said Kratos a pussy now.
He did say that.
He is kind of compared to the original.
Well, but that's the thing.
He's more interesting as a character.
Well, but that's what I disagree with him on. Is he or what I do agree with him on is that a lot of people play these new games and then look at the old games and go like, oh, Kratos wasn't an interesting character at all before. Like he only got interesting and dramatic with the new ones, and I totally disagree with that. I think he was a very layered character the entire time, and I think some people are like totally ignoring some really good storytelling in the old games. And then I disagree with them because I think that these new ones add to the layers that the old games already had.
They provide more character development. That was just wild.
Yeah, I don't think he's like weak or at all. He's just more layered.
More well-rounded.
Yeah, exactly. Like I think he is a better character now. But the part I do agree with them on is that a lot of people look at these new ones and go, "Oh, he wasn't a character at all in the old ones." Because of the way the new ones are better.
Right.
Where that's what I disagree with. I think both sets of games complement each other and make each other better. Yeah. Yeah, but David Jaffe's the Twisted Metal guy too, right? So it's like, I don't know, how much like story and writing confidence are you putting in that guy's ability and skill? You know?
Valhalla madness. At least it's good to see you in action again.
Plus, like, of the original games, the second game was probably, I think that's the best story.
Oh, yeah.
And the guy who did that is the guy who did the first of the new ones. So.
Right. You know one thing I think I missed?
Oh, we recognize that voice.
Thoughts on the TLU cast?
Last of Us. I haven't really paid much attention I'm never going to watch that show, so I'm not really paid attention to it.
I think...
Would you watch it for your stream?
The thing is I don't think it's I don't think it's even going to be that it's bad. I'm just going to find it tedious.
Yeah.
Because I think it's done well, but it's not done better, or I don't think I would think is done better than the game, but it's not done badly to where it'd be funny to watch it.
It's not significantly different, to my understanding.
Yeah, so that it's not. I don't know. It's just not interesting to me. It's just the same thing, but but done well, but not as well. And I don't know. That just makes it boring to me.
Even people who love the game said they still love the show.
I have heard that. I don't know. I just don't find it interesting personally. Like, it's nothing against it. I don't know.
I still got something of it. I love the casting.
Yeah. Love the casting, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just... it would be like I would watch the show if I was like my dad, who would never play a video game, was interested, and I'd be like, oh, this is a good way for you to get the story.
Yeah.
You know, like that's the like then I'd watch it like with my dad or something if he was interested in it. Like, but I don't know, for my own interest, I just don't care. I really just don't care.
You just don't like TV. For my understanding, the show, it's really on point.
Hey, also, hi Sarah, what's up?
Hey,
welcome in.
Wow, getting crowded in here.
Yeah.
Hello, Sarah.
How you? Hey, we're doing good. How are you doing today? Sarah's also been joining in on me and Tim's Elden Ring streams lately, helping us get through the game a little bit faster.
Yeah, she's there to coach Sage through his incompetence.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's why Tim's there. That's why Sarah's there. Everybody's there just to help me, not look as stupid.
Sage, why didn't you play co-op on Bear Gangbang 3?
Well, I'm not playing Bear Gangbang 3.
Oh, come on,
You're playing some game called
Excited for the DLC.
Bear Gangbang.
Tim and No Name are playing
famous
Baldur's Gate 3 with the bear sex in it.
Oh, with the bear sex.
Yeah, it's got the bear sex.
That is weird. If I was a bear, though, and I'd been sleeping for like 3 months, and I'd was on like an empty stomach, I might just wake up horny and like,
I mean, I'm sure bears do. I just don't want to see it.
Just like stretching, like, where are these bitches at?
Yeah, it's not even that I think the Last of Us show is bad, and that's why I don't want to watch it. I think it's probably good, and I just don't find it interesting to make a I just don't think it's interesting to make a show based on something that is so cinematic to begin with. I wish they would stop making video game adaptations altogether.
Yeah,
I just
Mario made a lot of money.
Yeah, and then The Last of Us also made a lot of money.
There are games you can do it with, but like the thing is,
I just don't find it personally interesting.
I'm just the brute for Elden Ring.
Tim is the lore guy,
and Red Wing as well. Red Wing, helping you through Elden Ring.
Yeah, I know, we're having a lot of fun having you on there.
It's
such a good game. Yeah, no, that's awesome. It's awesome. Wait, there's a Bendy movie coming. Oh yeah. Do you guys know about
The Last of Us Season 2 pissed people off like The Last of Us Part 2? Yes, it will.
I think less people will be mad about it just because
gamers are a special breed.
Yeah, gamers are a special breed of people that get pissed off at things. And so I don't think it'll be as controversial. Granted, I don't think the game should have been controversial to begin with, but...
But Sage, muscular women.
I know,
people also just become less protective as a medium. Not saying that it's not that they're justified in their complaints about it, but as it's been
I'll say that they were unjustified.
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, sure.
Saying I'm not saying this to justify.
Right, sorry.
I'm just saying that when an industry goes through that in-shitification process, at the end, people don't give a shit anymore.
Right.
Whether the outrage was misplaced or not. Once the whole medium is kind of just shit all over, then people just don't care anymore.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, what's this?
That happened to TV.
Bendy is this really kind of cool, it's a horror game, and it's kind of got the best way I think you could describe it would be like a BioShock mixed with Cuphead.
Okay, that's interesting.
It's got this kind of
Is it just brutally difficult then?
No, it's not very hard. It's more that it's got this 1920s kind of animated kind of visual flair to it.
I know what you're talking about now.
And yeah, I guess they're doing a movie based on it, which I think could be really cool.
Yeah, that's an interesting idea, actually. Man, why are you brutalizing these dogs?
God damn it, would you leave me alone about the dogs?
You ever not killing dogs?
Yeah, it's like every game you find an excuse to murder dogs.
These are like fucking... They're not even dogs. They're horrible...
Like dogs to me.
I just imagine you have these like weirdly erotic dreams where you walk into like an ASPCA with a fucking like explosive vest on.
Check out for the trailer for the video game. Oh yes. Yeah, I have seen that. Actually, I don't know if I've shown that to you, Alex, but that mouse game looks awesome.
Show it to him after this.
It's totally like the Rubber Hose animation, but it's like a Doom style first person shooter.
Is it this shit where they're doing Steamboat Willie?
It is not that.
No, it's from before that. It's much more creative looking than that.
I just know you're getting all sorts of Steamboat Willie.
Well, yeah,
that is true.
Doing
That
that
is
now,
true.
They're like, haha, Disney, we can do this now, so, you know.
I'm just glad Disney it finally happened to them.
Thoughts on SA now planning on suing the U.S. and UK for the participation in genocide?
Saudi Arabia?
No, South Africa. Which is ironic considering the apartheid state that South Africa was for a long time.
Yeah, I guess they're a little different now. But
it's not bad anymore. But
it just sounds purely political, though.
I would say Israel is doing
American people are pretty
but
ignorant of the dynamics in Africa, but I know there are some pretty serious ethnic issues in South Africa.
Still to this day.
Well, because the Bantus, they're not big fans of any of the other ethnic groups that live there.
But,
at least not Saudi Arabia. I was about to be outraged. I'm like, fuck
Saudi Arabia.
They have a genocide of their own going on right now.
Yeah, if Saudi Arabia was the one complaining. I would agree that that's what Israel's doing.
Yeah, it is.
But, I feel like someone with a better track record should be the one.
You can sue a Nazi now and say that Israel's doing genocide.
I know. That's, yeah.
Yeah, well.
Whoops, I totally grabbed the wrong one there. Well, whatever.
Kyle and whatever. Like, I'm not gonna deny reality, dude. I got eyes. You
gotta be like the former president of Harvard. You gotta be like, it depends on the context. The context of genocide.
Yeah,
there's
a context in which calling for the genocide of Jews isn't anti-Semitic.
Yeah, that's literally what she said. That's literally what she said. Could not believe that bitch.
I've been thinking about that non-anti-Semitic genocide.
No, man,
We're not killing you because you do.
We've been talking shit about Israel for a long time.
Yeah, well, they do. They do garbage. They do the Palestinians dirty. Yeah. Like, I don't know how you could argue anything other than that.
They hide behind the past as a way to try and justify it.
As an American, if all of a sudden, like, I don't even know who could show up. But if somebody showed up and they were like, hey, I guess it could be like Native Americans, but like the Native Americans like left America and then came back and they were like, hey, this was ours to start with, so all of you guys are moving to Connecticut.
What's wrong with Connecticut?
We're going to put up some walls. How about the fact that there's not enough room in Connecticut?
Well, that's
true. Maybe
there's a different context where there is enough room in Connecticut.
Yeah, just think about it.
Shove you in a blender.
That doesn't sound so bad.
Does it not?
Well, it depends on how many people are getting shoved in the blender. Am I in the blender?
Is there enough room in the blender?
Right. Is there like a nice cup to like drink out of afterwards?
Well, of course you'd be okay with blending up people for a drink.
All I know is that cup's half full, because I'm an optimist.
South Africa's not wrong.
Yeah.
But damn, does South Africa not have a good fucking track record to be the one complaining about it?
I don't know. For a country that's already ended apartheid, they're probably in a good position to be like, yeah, that sounds like apartheid.
I suppose that's true.
Well, it is apartheid.
It is.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. I don't know. It's just that they also have a lot of problems.
Well, I would just say South Africa, as a borderline failed state, probably doesn't have a lot to tell countries about how to run countries.
Yeah.
But they can probably recognize apartheid.
People say that SA is genociding white farmers.
I haven't heard that before, but
I've only ever heard that from like weirdos on the internet who oftentimes turn out to have very particular views about race.
Yeah,
there are. I
haven't heard about that.
There are some pretty horrific, what they call farm attacks in South Africa. I don't know if I would call that like an organized genocide, but there is some pretty rough, just murders and stuff that have like some serious racial overtones. But I wouldn't.
Well,
I mean, it's not the government.
genocide.
Well, it's not the government of South Africa
Yeah,
doing it. There are just people who.
If there are just people who are racist,
Right,
doing
there's a difference between hate crimes and genocide.
Well, yeah, for sure. I mean, it's not uncommon, but it's not like state politics. It's not like what happened in Zimbabwe when Mugabe kicked all the white farmers out.
Yeah, that was definitely a different story.
Wow. I mean, that was more to the detriment of Zimbabwe than it was to even more.
Well, they just had less farmers to make
Well,
food.
nobody knew. It's fine to kick the white farmers out, but you better be sure that some of the black people you're going to replace them with know how to farm.
Well, yeah, because you need to have farmers.
Yeah, I don't know that much about the South African situation, so I can't tell you for sure.
Yeah, I know that there are some pretty horrific murders. You know, the stuff of like serial killer novel, like really unfortunate. But it's not like the state doing it. Like,
Right.
It would be.
It has to be.
I guess it depends on if maybe the state just sort of looks the other way. Would be another question.
That's also true. That's a good point.
But I don't think it's.
Really are going places in Valhalla.
It's Helios.
Yeah.
Is that really?
He hasn't healed up though.
To me? After all this time,
Same voice actor and everything from God of War 3.
for one of your most
It'd be kind of funny if Kratos was holding him in a mirror and just kind of making like make out.
Just like banging their heads together. It's a good thing Kratos isn't some sort of sexual deviant holding the head on his waist the whole time. Well, I'm just saying. I mean, you got a head right there.
I don't know about that, dude. That's some serial killer shit.
That is. Damn.
I hadn't even considered that. I hadn't had that thought in my entire experience with God of War.
Well, I'm just saying.
Now you have.
He wouldn't do it to Mimir because he likes Mimir, but Helios.
Well, maybe he would do it to Mimir because he likes Mimir.
Well, that's a good point. I don't know if Mimir swings that way, but Kratos is a Greek dude. He probably does. I'm sure he does.
I don't know, dude. I have read about a lot of serial killers, and I've heard of that exact scene.
Well, okay, but this head is alive.
I don't think that makes it better.
I don't know, man. That's just.
It has a. It could give consent.
I guess that's true.
I don't like it. It ain't right.
Oh, like that.
If a man wants to
comedy gold.
Well, welcome in, first time chatter.
What a time to walk in.
Masi Menos, welcome in. Hello, how are you doing?
always had such luck with change.
I'm glad we could provide a good first time experience. Also, just check out the straight up
Spanish for more or less.
Yeah, Más o menos.
Más o menos, yeah. That should be
Más o
right.
menos,
More
yeah.
or less. Yeah.
That's why if I'm not feeling good and my coworkers ask me how I'm doing, that's what I say.
Okay.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Also, check it out. This is the statues from Hades,
Nice.
Nice.
and God of War 3 holding the chain that connected to the flame of Olympus up at the top of the mountain.
From Teen Titans.
Oh, okay.
Also, yeah, check it out. All pulls from your memories, right? So these are some environments recreated directly from God of War 1.
Oh, that's cool.
We're gonna fight any Titans.
No, but we are going to fight Greek monsters.
Alright.
Sweet.
Part of me wonders if they didn't do some of these. He was not holding the spear there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Part of me wonders if they didn't create some of these skin textures for the Greek creatures because they are planning on doing some sort of remaster of the old games.
What's your favorite God of War moment?
I don't know, man.
I mean, I truly still think that the best game in the franchise is still Link, lay down. I still think that the best game in the franchise is God of War 2 of the original games. I just think it's the most well-rounded narrative out of all of them. That cliffhanger at the end where he's, like, the build-up of him riding up the mountain on the Titans to go fight the gods. It's a great cliffhanger.
Pretty sweet.
I do. I mean, in terms of just like sheer spectacle, I think just the opening sequence of 3, where you're fighting Poseidon and on the hippocampus, on Gaia, on Olympus. Yeah. Like as far as just spectacle goes, that might be the best moment.
Personally, I always just enjoy the fact that he cuts Helios' head off just because he needs a flashlight.
Right.
What are you doing, Kratos? You mean to sacrifice me again?
You spent waiting for God of War 3 after that.
I know, I remember that anticipation so hard. Yeah, see, there you go. Hades zombies from the first game.
That's a nice little helmet there.
Wow.
Legionnaires. Why are they called Legionnaires?
That's just, I guess I don't, I mean, I guess just because they're literally legions.
Probably drank some bad water.
Oh, that's good. Alright, that saved it.
You're making eye contact as you push me towards my demise.
I do enjoy Helios' shit talking in this quite a bit.
Especially after such a long and agonized deliberation over what to do. Oh, how reluctant you'll tell people you were to sacrifice me to the flame.
He was not reluctant.
I don't know that.
No, he wasn't reluctant
that
at all.
Kratos would ever try to claim that he was being reluctant.
Well, and you have to keep in mind that since this is all just Valhalla pulling things from Kratos' memory, that is Kratos essentially talking to his own subconscious.
Right. But I think the only thing he regrets is not ripping that tongue out, too.
Well, and then I guess I don't know if either of you guys are super aware of the plot of Chains of Olympus, which was one of the PSP spin-off games.
I know next to nothing about it.
And in that game, Kratos actually saves Helios, and Helios, like, owes him this, like, debt of favor because of it, and then...
He's still ahead at that point, though, right?
No, so that Chains of Olympus actually takes place before the first game, even. He hasn't even killed Ares yet in Chains of Olympus.
You can still juggle them with blades, grapple moves, memories of spamming O on them in there.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Just keeping them bouncing until they died.
Yeah, see how long you can keep them.
Oh, yeah. Also, got this back from God of War 3.
Oh,
Nice.
Fuck yeah.
Top 5 games of all time.
God of War 2, Devil May Cry 3, Grand Theft Auto 4, Uncharted 2, Red Dead Redemption.
Good list.
That's a good list. Some of those would be in mine for sure. I'd also put, like, Silent Hill 2 would be a big one. That would be on my list. I don't know. I'm not sure if it would be top 5 or maybe, like, it would be, like, 6 or, like, maybe in the top 10, but Silent Hill 2 is one I'd put up on there. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of good ones. A lot of amazing games out there. I'd have to really think about, like, a top all time.
Can we go to the Spartan Rage pedestal?
The Spartan Rage pedestal, I'm sorry?
Yeah.
Let's go.
It said we can go to the Spartan Rage pedestal.
So in the outside before you go in for a run, you can pick what shield you want and what like click the trigger in to do your like rage mode. And so we just unlocked the Blade of Olympus as a new version of that.
I don't know. It just sounds like a timeout or something. You go sit on the Spartan Rage pedestal.
That sounds like
you think about what you
did.
I'm pretty sure that's where you sit when you're about to be kicked into a well.
I can see that. It's like, man, I don't know about this baby. He's got a lazy eye. Maybe we just drop kick him in the pit.
Well, it sounds like something a Spartan would do.
No! Get me out of here! What is this? Help me! I'm trying! Please!
Did you see that South Korean politician get stabbed in the neck? I did not. Oh, old news. Okay.
I did not see that.
I'm not sure what you were referring to.
Yeah. I like in the middle of like a speech or something. Like
this might be something I didn't hear about.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I did not catch that.
They do be stabbing over there. They like
stabbing. That's good. Which of you hasn't seen this yet?
I have already played this all the way through on my own time, and neither of these two know anything that's going to happen in this DLC.
Barbecued Valkyrie?
I don't know, man. They do in Asia.
They're not supposed to go
in
into
Asia.
Valhalla.
Yeah, that's what happens in Asia. The politicians get stabbed. They're out in the.
That's what happens over there, man.
That's what happened to Abe too in Japan.
Well, that is true.
Except he got shot with a homemade shotgun.
Mm-hmm.
But you go wandering out in the street, like you get got.
That's why you should just not go outside. You know, stay in your homes. Be a recluse.
Be a turtle.
I don't know. I'm a recluse.
So,
See, you think he's not giving her head?
so I probably shouldn't have gone into this hungry, but I got a question.
Come on,
You
that's all
gotta
he
have
can
a body.
do. They're lovers. They're together. You come on. You tell me.
You gotta have a torso to fuck.
Did you have this?
He's got a tongue. Okay.
Do have the
I
death
think
penalty.
she's
in
got
Japan. It's true. I never go outside, and I've only been stabbed once.
Good track record. I'm gonna
Come
need to
on.
get your endorsement on our.
Come on. You tell me that Valkyrie isn't using that head for head.
Why are you thinking about this so much?
I just want you to
Are
think
you
about
planning on doing this?
it. No, I just want him to think about it.
Oh, okay. But I got a question.
You just
though.
like
It's bothering him.
I got a question.
Pop-
This
What's up?
barbecue. This
Pop the
Valkyrie was being
squat
barbecued
on
earlier, right? So I got to
Gnomes.
know.
Well, she's good now.
Yeah, but that's unfortunate. But if you eat a Valkyrie, is that cannibalism?
Eating. That's good. I mean, it's humanoid,
Skeptical of people
but it's a
eating
fiction. It is a mythological being.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, would eating a god be cannibalism?
It's a good question.
You telling me this Valkyrie just like cops a squat on a fucking dude who's 50% face? Like, just
Well, like, they
What
were.
if he's into it? What if he's like, yes?
I think he's probably into it, right? I mean, he's all about.
He's like, all I got is a face. You might as well sit on it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like you gotta have a torso at least.
What do you think that's why Kratos puts the head down there so he doesn't smell his breath all the time?
Yeah, but wouldn't you have to smell
Just
Kratos'
saying, like,
ass
you
while he's
should-
hanging there? Where Kratos cuts apart right now?
That's true. Mimir's probably
Yeah.
smelling some pretty.
He's chugging ass down
Oh
there.
shit, we going to a mega dude?
These are like your upgrades for.
Oh, this is the Spartan Rage pedestal.
No.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
Oh, we found it? Oh.
No, I'll show it to you.
Okay, we gotta see it, man.
This is like permanent upgrades like maximum health, maximum rage, health
Maximum
regeneration, health. So you got those, and then you also have this one, which is gives you stuff like keys you can use. You got a few different things.
Better
in
Call
here.
Saul ends its run on TV with no Emmy Awards.
Oh wow, really? You didn't get a single one?
How the fuck did it not? Who got it instead?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Colbert, man. I feel
Oh,
like
Fucking Colbert, oh god.
God.
It better not be.
It better
dude.
not be Colbert.
Fuck that.
I can't fucking stand that guy. No, this is the one. So like you pick between
Man's a
like your
once in a
Fury.
generation talent, dude.
He's really not.
Yeah, but
he's a
almost-
once in a generation.
Succession and The Bear.
I mean, those are both shows I hear nothing but good things about, but I also haven't watched. So
Is The Bear like Cocaine Bear?
no, it's
No, it's
like
about-
my life, actually.
Yeah, about like cooking.
Like, really
fine
intense,
dining, high intensity
your life?
situation.
Yeah, like really.
Personally, Sage, you.
Well, no, not literally, but
Oh.
like it's about people that work in a high stress restaurant.
Oh, okay.
Succession is basically about Rupert Murdoch.
Yeah, Succession I actually know about. I just don't know what The Bear is. I was just wondering why.
Well, the
they
bear.
made a TV show about
the bear is
Succession, I
the
don't
hairy
Not
fat
me,
guy.
literally.
The bear is the hairy fat guy pinning your face to the mattress.
But well, that means he's not a power bottom.
Is Ulysses a power bottom? I don't know.
I don't know, are you?
Made that
I didn't know I was a bear. What's going on?
I didn't say you were a bear. I said you were getting the bear was going to come to your house tonight.
Oh, you're saying that I have a bear? No, that's Tim and Corbin.
They got a bear?
Jeremy
Yeah.
Allen White plays me in The Bear.
Yeah, because they play that bear fucking game, right?
Oh, that's what it is. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, The Bear is the live action Baldur's Gate 3 show.
Oh, okay. So this is bear
nice.
sex.
Yeah.
Bears and otters, dude.
Ain't got no time for bear sex. So that was a full run. We actually beat
Oh,
it.
okay.
I barely noticed. But we are on like hyper easy mode, so
Yeah, that's why I want to finish it in one day. And I've played it all already, so we should be able to
right.
play
We don't need
pretty
to
quick.
show everybody like our uselessly dying on hard mode 500 times.
Remember the
Yeah.
according plans.
I just want to beat the plot in one sitting since I've already done it once.
About a forest.
We going to Sun World?
Elsewhere,
Yay, Sun World.
Wow, it's so sunny here in Sun World.
Oh, and then Mimir, well, we had Helios with him. Mimir went back to fucking, like, Avalon and shit, and was, like, seeing his memories of being in, like, the Fey courts. Which that's what I'm really curious what, like, cause I really want to see Egypt be the next place that they would go for a God of War game.
Celtic mythology would be really cool, because nobody does Celtic.
People don't do Celtic stuff really very often. I mean, King Arthur is all Celtic, though. It's just
What happened to the citizens?
But they
kill all the Greek gods. They
so
died.
often-
I'm pretty sure
most of them died.
Most of Greece died. Well, like when he kills Poseidon, like it floods the land. I mean, he kills Helios and it blots out the sun. He kills Hera and fucking like.
You know what I would have done?
Disease starts spreading. Like, yeah, I'm pretty sure there might have been a few people left, but for them, I think the majority of Greece was just wiped out.
You know what I would have done? If you want to link it to, like, you know, the real world kind of stuff,
Sure.
you tie it to the Bronze Age collapse.
That would be
Because,
interesting.
I mean, that was like the actual extension of like almost all Western civilization.
Pretty much every civilization collapsed.
Egypt was the only survivor.
South Africa needs to sue Kratos for genocide.
Well, technically, wouldn't it be deicide?
Deicide?
Yeah, because he killed the
Well,
gods.
but if he killed all the people of Greece as a side effect,
I guess
of
that's
that,
like an accidental genocide. Can you have an accidental genocide, or does that just have to be like on purpose? Because I don't think Kratos set out to kill everybody in Greece.
No, but like, does it matter if you were intended to do it or not?
Well,
I mean, I guess that's
Is it a different legal
Yeah,
charge?
what's the legal definition?
I don't know, because, well, it depends.
I've always
A lot of
assumed
people-
genocide is an
a lot of-
intentional thing.
Right.
A lot of people will say that, like, what...
Spoiling it for them.
I have.
Okay.
I have seen all of it, yeah.
With,
Thanos, like, genocide is random.
I mean, I guess that's
like,
fair.
What
That's fair.
Stalin did in Ukraine in the 30s, or, like, what Mao did in the, like, late 50s, kind of those, like, the mass starvations and the arguments over, like, how intentional was it? How much was it the state policy to kill people? That would be, like, that's where you get into, like, your accidental genocide thing,
Okay.
where it's like, is it still genocide if they meant to do what they were doing, but they didn't think it would kill all these people? Or does it have to be like they were planning to have all these people starve?
Negligent genocide, basically.
Yeah,
Right.
I don't. Well, but I mean, I don't know. Does that count as genocide?
That's a good question.
Again, yeah, right.
But no, that's, yeah, I have seen all of the extra stuff going on in here. I played this pretty thoroughly already, mostly because I also could run through it in a single sitting on the stream.
Did you see what Nikki Haley said after the primary, though?
What? No, I
She
didn't.
came in third, right?
Okay.
She's gonna be second in New Hampshire from all the polling and everything, but she came in third in Iowa behind DeSantis, right?
Yeah.
They were real close. It was like 1 point between them, but DeSantis came in second. And so then she was like, both of them had basically victory speeches where they acted like they won.
Definition of genocide: the deliberate killing of a large number of people from a particular nation or ethnic group with the aim of destroying something of the group.
That nation or group.
Yeah.
So I mean, I guess Kratos, what Kratos did can't be genocide if it's not deliberate. I don't know.
I mean,
Is there a
Unless you count the gods of a specific group.
Well, that I think maybe counts, but the people killed as a side effect, that doesn't count as genocide. Is there a different word for that? Is there a different word for a negligent genocide or an accident or like an unintentional genocide?
I don't know. Words
Is that
for
a
it.
term?
But of course,
I feel like it
everybody.
should. If that doesn't count,
I don't know.
it should.
In a lot of
Learn
those-
international law was God of War. Kratos just didn't know. He doesn't count.
I don't know. Like, well, it's like I said. There are people who are like defenders of Stalin who are like, oh, it wasn't
on purpose.
It wasn't on purpose.
Right.
It was a side effect of collectivization or whatever. And then there are the people who said he intentionally killed them.
Right.
But
So
with Stalin, I mean, it's debatable whether or not he like specifically had his party members calculate out the possible human cost. And just went, it's acceptable because that's the kind of person he was.
right. Yeah,
Carson
for
Fox,
sure.
you've been hanging out with us long enough on the stream. I'm gonna pop a little Discord invitation
Kratos
into
didn't
the
really hate
chat.
Greek people, just the gods.
That's true. He just hated the gods. But yeah, Tyson Bucks, if you're interested, or not if you obviously ignore it if you don't care, but I did just pop a Discord invite into the chat there if you want to hang out at all with us in there. It's not super active yet, but, you know, well, every new person adds a little bit more activity.
Oh yeah, but Nikki Haley after the primary.
Yeah.
She said that there were only two tickets.
For more active talks about genocide.
You know, just the most fun, lighthearted conversation topics here.
But she said that there were only 2 tickets out of Iowa, and that she got one. She was like, there are only 2 winners here in Iowa, and it's like, how can you claim to have one when you came in third? How can you say there are only 2 winners? You came in third, and you feel like I'm one of the winners.
Wow.
Illogical nonsense statement is that? To be like,
I feel like that is truly the whole, like the concept of
by getting third, I was one of the 2 winners.
that is the concept of the participation trophy generation that boomers complain about entering politics.
I sent you the video.
That's what that is.
I sent you the video of the guy going up to Ron DeSantis in the bar and giving him a participation trophy. Right? His wife was so mad.
That was funny.
That's like the fucking political equivalent of the fucking Black Knight from Monty Python. Your arm's off. No, it isn't.
Come back here, you yellow belly. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, she is right in a way. Like, Ron DeSantis' run is over now.
Oh, dude, yeah, he
spent all his money in Iowa. He's guaranteed to come in third in New Hampshire. Like, he doesn't stand a chance, so it's over. If you come in third and you're like, yep, I'm one of the winners, one of the 2 winners by coming in third, it's just a stupid statement.
That's Velociraptor.
We spot these a little bit.
Yeah, we spot these people.
I'm trying to remember what they were called.
They're called Velociraptors.
They're like Dragon adjacent.
I guess they'd be Utah.
Yeah.
Are they Werevins or whatever?
Oh, Wyverns?
Wyverns?
I don't...
Yeah.
That's not a thing in Norse mythology.
No, it's a Welsh thing.
Yeah.
But I do think there were Wyverns in this game. It might be.
Heimdall was also riding like a fucking tiger, which also the Norse had no concept of giant cats like at all.
That is true.
They definitely embellish a little bit with the mythology.
Weren't in Norse, actual Norse mythology, didn't Freya have a chariot pulled by cats, but they were literally giant house cats?
I think so.
Yeah, they were like giant house cats.
Do you think if they knew of lions and tigers and shit, they would be like, oh yeah, put those in front of the chariot, not just a fucking cat?
To be honest, the thing Heimdall was riding around in the main campaign kind of made me think of Battle Cat from He-Man.
Yeah.
That's kind of the vibe I got off of it.
I mean, big cats are so famous throughout history and just kind of infamous that in places that never had them, they still have crazy depictions of them. What the Chinese thought a lion was is hilarious.
It gets even
better. That's like Jerry curls, Easy.
It gets even better.
That is the funniest way I've ever heard somebody describe this.
It's true.
My dad has a tattoo of one of those on his shoulder, actually.
Really?
Of Easy?
Not of Easy. Of one of those Chinese lion creatures, which I forget the name of them now, but
yeah, there's a specific word there. But they're supposed to be lions. Right?
Yeah,
they're like an interpretation of lion, man.
But it gets even funnier because I think it was Okinawa where they had inherited the Chinese cultural idea of lions as the symbol of royalty, but they knew even less about what lions were supposed to look like, so they just look like dogs.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you've seen those statues they have, I mean, they're these very, very weird
dog-like.
Dog lion things.
Or you get down to Singapore and they throw a mermaid tail on the dog lion, and you're like, dude, what is happening?
It is fascinating to look at the way that old world cultures interpret animals or elements of different places in the world or misinterpret them.
Well, what about the ancient, the medieval European depictions of crocodiles and leopards and shit?
Oh yeah, they didn't get that shit right at all.
Really weird shit.
It was just some fucking merchant gave us a second-hand account of one of these things. Quick, let's draw it. And it's this weird mutant creature that doesn't even make any fucking sense.
Or, I mean, have you ever read, Marco Polo's actual accounting of his journey to China?
I have not.
he says some weird shit in there. He makes some crazy. He's like, and there are sheep that are trees, like that grows out of the ground.
Trees.
It's like like a tree that grows out of the ground is
silk,
the
right?
What?
Is he trying to talk about silk?
No, he's talking about literally like he's claiming that he saw like bushes that were actually like sheep that grew out of the ground on like a trunk.
Yeah, I know that like you get a lot of weird crap like that in like historical works. Like Herodotus famously had all kinds of just batshit insane stuff that he heard about randomly in his travels that he included. About how in Saudi Arabia there's like this giant mass of winged snakes, and like every year they fly to Egypt, but like the ibises like hunt them down and kill them all, so they fly back to Saudi Arabia.
Huh. Wonder if that's referring to like locusts.
Maybe.
Because I think that is what happened, is if it rains in Saudi Arabia, then the locusts, like, hatch and fly over to Egypt and eat all the food.
But then how do you get snakes out of that?
I don't know why they would think they were snakes.
And then the blades are still the best God of War weapon.
The blades, they're pretty fucking iconic. I do, in terms of gameplay, I really like the spear, especially in terms of, like, trying to do this as fast as possible. I actually think it's my favorite weapon, that literally just makes things easy. Yeah, but I do think the blades are iconic in terms of, like, visual presentation and storytelling. I do think those are the best weapons.
I'm guessing part of the reason for the winged snakes is because that's, like, a thing in ancient Egyptian mythology, right?
Oh, the winged serpent.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Well, that and Aztec.
Yeah.
Like Quetzalcoatl and stuff like that.
I mean, that's kind of how dragons started, with winged snakes.
Yeah.
Everybody likes snakes with wings for some reason.
I don't know what's going on. Indiana Jones probably doesn't.
That's probably his nightmare.
Judges, did you say? Perhaps the higher planes of Valhalla.
Yeah, the judges of Hades.
Then Chinese dragons are flying snakes, but they don't have wings.
Right. Dude, I love Eastern dragons. Actually, I really like Eastern dragons more than Western dragons. I mean, they're both cool, and like Western dragons could be more. I guess Western dragons could be more badass, like immediately. But like Eastern dragons, like the kind of the wisdom that they get presented with, like the intellectual.
Yeah, they do a better job of sort of presenting them as like a sort of higher creature, like, you know, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
like a creature that exists beyond our understanding. This year is the year of the dragon.
Well, there we go. Fuck yeah.
Anybody a dragon on the Chinese restaurant menu?
No.
I actually don't know what I am.
I'm a dog.
What a dog? Okay.
What's 95?
There's a truly that I don't know. There is a more complicated way and proper way to determine your Chinese zodiac, but I only know what I am according to the placemat at the Chinese restaurant.
Yeah, I don't know what I would be. I was born in '95, so I'm not sure what that is.
Yeah, I don't know.
Cause you both are '94, right?
You might be a rat. You might be a rat.
A rat? Yeah, it could be.
Oh shit, I don't like that.
You don't want to be a rat?
That seems like a bad thing. I don't want to be afraid of.
Can't use that word. So.
Yeah, that's the N-word. That's the N-word for Italian.
Fucking Chris Cuomo, dude. What a pathetic loser.
He's back now.
Let him be back.
He's on,
what?
He's on News Nation, man.
Doing what?
Interviewing girls with Tourette's, trying to keep a straight face. Yeah,
dude, Chris Cuomo is such a piece of shit.
Didn't I send you that interview of him with the girl with Tourette's?
Yes, you know you did send me that. I don't think you sent him that, though.
No, I've never seen that. That sounds hilarious. But seriously, why is he still a thing?
I don't know. Oh, thank you so much for the follow, Masimenos.
Let's see.
I appreciate that very much. Also, I don't know if you saw, but you are welcome to join the Discord as well. You seem since I put that in the chat already.
Let's see. You are 95.
Well, someone in the chat said
you're
pig.
Pig.
Yeah, Afternoon Tune said pig.
Oh, okay. Afternoon Tune knows his placement pretty well.
Sage would be a pig, and the rest of you would be dogs. We were born in '94.
Yep, I'm a dog.
Yeah, because you're both 94, right?
I'm earlier than that.
Oh, you're 93?
91, actually, like the very tail end of it.
Oh, damn, 91. Okay.
I got the dog in me.
So then, what's 91?
I think that's sheep.
91 is sheep.
Yeah.
Okay, so pig, dog, sheep.
91.
Michael would be
goat or sheep. Yeah, It depends on which
Dogs, you guys are not safe out
which
there.
placemat you get.
Oh yeah, you're because of me.
Yeah, yeah. Or back over in Chinese restaurant.
Oh. God damn it.
Oh, interesting thing. Speaking of sheep, apparently in Australia, you know what the new trend is for getting instead of sheepdogs, you import alpacas.
Just spit on the sheep.
What they do is they don't spit on the sheep, but what they do is alpacas actually have like an instinct where if you put them with a group of smaller animals, then they'll be like sort of the like
spit on them.
they'll be sort of like they'll be like watching for other prey, right?
Okay.
You know, like sort of in the wild when you've got like say a bunch of elephants and gazelle and giraffes, they all look out for different prey for each other, kind of at the same time,
right?
Because they sort of have that instinct, right?
Yep.
And so you have these alpacas just living with your sheep, and whenever, like, let's say a wild dog comes over, then yeah, what the alpacas will do is they'll run up and start spitting on the thing to chase it away. And apparently they're pretty popular over there now.
Huh.
We're not going to have sheepdogs anymore. We're going to have sheep alpacas.
Weird.
I like the sheepdogs though because they run across the backs of the sheep, and it's pretty funny to watch.
Sheepdogs are also fucking cute.
They are.
I mean, they can't
cute.
see. It looks like, but they're cute.
I mean,
They're also
there are
pretty
a bunch
smart,
of different breeds of dogs people use to herd sheep. But yeah,
Border collies are pretty effective at that too.
Anything with shepherd in the name, obviously.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
My dog would not be able to do that.
Yeah.
You just try to make friends with them.
Pretty amazing how much some dogs are like bred for purpose and really understand how to do
a job.
certain tasks.
Yeah. Link, quit licking your feet, buddy. I know it itches.
Then there's those dumb dog breeds.
Yeah.
Some dog breeds are just like purposeless.
Well, what are they? Is it a Prince Charles Spaniel? Is that the one that was bred just to keep laps warm? Like they bred the dog to be a warm pillow that royalty could like have on their laps. Like if there's a big lap dog,
it might be, yeah.
Keep you warm.
Is there corgis? Oh, hey, there's harpies. It's another Greek anime. Harpies, another Greek
Corgis are like just people just love corgi ass. Like they just like the ass on a corgi. People got
corgis. Are cute.
They got
I like corgis.
Corgi ass pillows.
I don't really get that part.
I don't know anything about this.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what you're talking about here, but I do think corgis are cute.
You weren't aware of like the
corgi
people
ass?
who are like
No.
obsessed with that corgi.
I didn't know corgi ass was sweeping the nation.
Yeah, people really like the butts on a corgi, dude. They talk about how cute they are. They got the pillows.
That's weird,
stuff,
man.
I mean, they're not trying to fuck them, dude. They're just saying that they got cute butts. I don't.
I think corgis are funny because they have tiny legs.
Yeah, that's what I think's funny about them.
You didn't know about how into their butts people are?
No.
What you guys thinking? I'm crazy.
I mean, I believe you because people are fucking weird. But
yeah, that's exactly the kind of batshit insanity people would be interested in a dog for. Yeah, the corgi butt is trendy.
All right, well, hey, Tyson Fox knows what you're talking about.
Okay, there we go. At least
hey, Cyclops.
Poke his eye out.
Yeah, you'll never guess the weak spot on one of those.
Just once I'd like to see a Cyclops that doesn't have a weak
See,
ass
look
eye.
how many.
Wow,
corgi,
what the fuck?
Look how many corgi ass pillows there are.
Why?
I saw a mouse pad once that was just Levi's ass that you could grab.
Well, they make a lot of those.
Anime characters.
Yeah, especially
anime characters.
Well, what about the anime pillows?
Pads.
Body
Right.
pillows and all that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is an interesting mechanic. So if an enemy hits you with a certain attack, it'll like tether you to them, and it'll slowly like siphon your energy, and you have to like hit them with like a certain weapon to break the siphon. I missed it. It must be that attack, so I don't have to worry about it right now. But remember this? We're doing this.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Some old school shit.
Pretty fun.
Yeah, this year I really want to have more like one-off games or like games that only take like 1 or 2 streams for us, and just do more kind of weird nonsense games.
That'd be cool.
Or I guess not nonsense, but just weird, more out there, just strange. Like we've got one of the next things we're gonna do is I've got this like real weird, kind of old, almost like 80s style or 90s style PC adventure game that we're gonna play.
Okay.
Called The Many Pieces of Mr. Koo.
The Many Feces of Mr. Pooh.
Pieces.
Oh.
Mini pieces.
It's not a German. It's not a German game, guys. It's not German.
I mean, if your name is Mr. Pooh, you do have a lot of feces. That just kind of goes with the territory.
Did you say his name's Mr. Cool?
Mr. Koo.
Mr. Pooh.
Mr. Koo.
Yeah.
Alright. So we baked Kratos.
Me and my easy bake oven.
Got him to the next area.
But he's not a pie.
We had to sacrifice something, right? So instead of putting Mimir in there, he just put himself in there.
What did he sacrifice?
Him.
Well, it doesn't look like he sacrificed.
Well, it's a more of the trial. It's like Indiana Jones when they step on the invisible bridge. It's more of a you just have to be willing to make the sacrifice, not actually
go through with it.
Yeah, you just have to be willing to do it. Hey, there's our mysterious inviter.
No,
Told us to come
this
here.
guy.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing: we haven't actually spent any time with actual Tyr.
Okay.
Remember, the bitch was
Fake.
that bitch Tyr was just Odin pretending
Right.
to be Tyr to make Tyr look bad the whole
Fake
game.
tier was off.
That was slander, man.
This is actual Tyr,
Yeah.
which we have spent no time with actual Tyr yet.
Okay, fair enough.
And I will tell you right now, he's much more badass than fake Tyr.
I know what to wrestle.
Well, that's not saying much.
No, it's not.
I
But
understand
it is more what you would have expected. You know.
the shame, the doubt, the question. I could find no answer.
Why he gotta look
until
like
I came
Pirates of
here.
Penzance, dude?
I don't know.
I mean, somebody's got it.
So when we go to eat, it's
What's the weirdest game you ever played that enjoyed? Yeah, played that you actually enjoyed.
Octodad was pretty fun.
That was pretty
Octodad
nuts,
was great. Yeah, you're a dad. You're an octopus that has to pretend to be a human dad. That's a good one.
We haven't done it on the stream, but Condemned 2.
Condemned 2 is fucking terrible, but it's hilarious.
But it's also batshit insane with the fucking bear.
Yeah, the bear serial killer. Yeah, that shit's pretty ground.
Katamari is fun.
Katamari is a good one. Yeah, God, I'm gonna have to look through my library of games.
American McGee's Alice is a
Oh yeah, those are good.
Those are weird. Those are weird.
Weird games. Yeah.
Trial by combat, Mimir. When Kratos can get the better of
Weird
me,
games.
he'll know his mind is done.
Planescape Torment was pretty fucking nuts if you like RPGs.
I had fun with Prison Tycoon.
Ooh, there you go.
This tier actually fights. Actually does something.
Yeah, this is weird. Oh, we got to rage.
Well, an attack of mystery power. Watch out!
Having the Blade of Olympus again is fucking awesome.
Gets ass too.
Yeah, it's a pretty strong weapon. It cuts through most enemies like butter.
There's the fire. Good, Kratos. A man at war with himself places a deficit upon his focus. He is impatient, emotional, easily surprised.
Oh, I know one. Star Control 2. That's a weird ass game.
Star Control's pretty crazy. Yeah.
That's one of the fucking strangest games I can think of.
Is ready to progress.
I mean, Control.
Yeah, Control's
Control.
weird.
Control's fucking.
Really weird.
Control and Alan Wake are
Alan
crazy
Wake,
games.
yeah, both of those are.
Oh, Tiresome Fox, have you played any more of Alan Wake? I know you said you played the first episode. I think the last time I talked to you about it. I was very excited to hear more of what you thought. So that's one of my all-time favorites. Gameplay, maybe clunky, but damn, I love that story.
Game's also weird because it's just really aggressively finished.
The second one, more so.
Yeah,
than
the
first
second one a lot. That's true. Not the first one as much. But the second one is aggressively finished, which is just kind of nice. Just a weird thing. I know the developers are from Finland, but
Well, they never put all that much Finnish culture into their previous games.
Mm-hmm.
So, for them, then they started doing it, and it was oh, damn, okay, you guys are leaning into this now.
Red Alert is a great example for strategy games, especially 2 and 3. Those games, they're kind of it's like a weird mixture of an RTS with almost like a comedy game, where like everything is just insane. It was so good. I loved almost every second of it, but the driving was horrible.
The driving mechanics are not the best for sure.
That's why
did you finish it, or did you play the whole thing already then? Yeah.
Crusader Kings is a weird game that I like quite a bit. Just because of how much there's a lot of just general strategy, military strategy and stuff in the game, and like political intrigue. But your family line is so important, so you have to spend a lot of time about like figuring out like genetically is this like an intelligent match for your kids.
Ooh, eugenics simulator.
You can inbreed your family into a nightmarish state.
I remember that was all
where you're like your king can just be like a genetic cul-de-sac. Like they can absolutely.
That was one of the most fun things about
chins and giant heads and clubbed feet.
Damn. Almost played through the whole thing. Nice. It's a small detail too, Tiresome Fox. So I'm sure you probably didn't notice it. I wouldn't have noticed it if I hadn't had someone else point it out to me first. But if you're playing Alan Wake, I think it's in episode 2. If you in the sheriff's office, there's a letter on the sheriff's desk from the Federal Bureau of Control. Just like a small Easter egg, but it's in there.
What's that game you're showing me the preview for, where you take the pictures and then you can change the environment?
Viewfinder?
Yeah, that I want to play.
We're definitely going to play that sometime. I think in 2024.
Crazy, definitely one of the weirdest games I've ever seen.
Yeah, that looks like a great, like really original puzzle mechanic.
Yeah.
Divinity Original Sin 2 has some incredibly weird moments too. Like there's a moment in that game where you like walk up to like a bunch of severed heads that are all stuck on poles, and they're all arguing with each other about whose fault it is that they're all severed heads on poles. And like there's like this box in the center of them that they're all like trying to convince you not to open, but the other one's like, man, fuck those other heads. You should fucking kill them all and open that box. And it's just like this whole weird scene that just escalates into more and more strangeness as it goes. Like that's just an example of just the bizarre shit that makes me like interested in Larian games in the first place.
Right. No. There's a ton of. I mean, Alan Wake 1 is like obviously that came out before Control, but like once you really start getting into that series, the way that it crosses over with itself is kind of insane. Especially once you get to Control and then Alan Wake 2. I mean, that shit just goes absolutely crazy. Permanent upgrade to defense stat. So I believe you basically have to beat tier 4 times to finish it. And then that's how you know you're like done. Let's keep. Oh no, this is a different currency, so we can. We might as well get one of those. Let's see.
Yeah, you guys want to hear about some weird shit?
Oh wait, hold on. What's up?
So,
tell me some weird shit.
So there was this very bizarre conspiracy thing back in the 90s, right?
Okay.
I'm going to give Control another chance after this. I'll keep you updated.
Cool.
I really like Control.
Yeah, Control is awesome.
I mean, what I will say is that, because I know you bounced off it a little bit when you first tried it, if it helps at all, go into the options menu when you start it, and you can kind of set up like how much damage you want the enemy to do, how much damage you want you to do to the enemies, and if you're like if you genuinely just kind of end up not super digging like the gameplay and you just want to get through the story, you can make the game basically like yourself invincible and put the game on like easy just to get the story. Again, it's up to you, but there are a lot of options to kind of customize the difficulty for yourself to make the game easier or harder depending on what you want. I'm saying that you have the option. Not that you have to, but you have the option at least depending on what you want to do. Because I will say...
Don't condescend, bro.
I'm not condescending. I'm just saying if it's not a game that you're loving, playing it on easy gets you through it faster.
It's true.
If you just want the story and the context that it adds to the universe. No.
Actually, to be fair, Tiresome Fox,
Control actually could be kind of hard. I had trouble with it at times. I at least on a first playthrough.
I don't really even play video games.
That's true. He's a huge pussy. No, I'm kidding.
Watch Sage play video games.
I'm kidding.
I only play like strategy games and like
more PC stuff.
PC
well, all of us have pretty different tastes. Mm-hmm. And I guess me and Ulysses probably cross over a little more than you do with us.
More, but we still have like pretty different like stuff we focus on.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's part of why I think this channel works. Playing on easy whenever I just feel like vibing. See, there you go. But I mean, I think that's part of why I think our channel is fun, because every host on here plays like a pretty good variety. Like the stuff Tim and Corbin play on their show.
Yeah.
Is like all PC RPG or like battle royale multiplayer
a lot of like MMO
games.
type stuff too.
Yeah, stuff that you'd never see us playing on here.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think that's part of the fun of this channel is just extreme variety.
Extreme.
Yeah,
I mean, just as much as possible, you know.
What is this? The Bigfoot?
That's the barbarian that
Conan
he sacrificed his soul to Hades to defeat in the first game.
Oh.
Aye, you've spoken of this, brother.
I guess I forgot that the barbarian was Bigfoot.
To stave off the barbarian horde.
Bar.
My soul to a god of war.
It's sad that they stream on such a bad time for me. I'm usually asleep.
Yeah, they're usually later.
Oh shit, is that Ghost Rider?
That is Ares.
Is that Nicolas Cage?
It's Ares.
So Nicolas Cage.
I mean, sure.
That's Ghost Rider.
As it. Nicolas Cage as Ares as Ghost Rider.
But yeah, have you guys ever heard of Ong's Hat?
Ong's Hat, no. What is that?
So Ong's Hat is a town out in New Jersey, right? Where it's like been like the center of like a lot of weird conspiracy theories and a lot of like really bizarre like cryptid kind of shit, right? Like, you know, Jersey
Devil.
Devil.
I was going to say like Jersey Devil's in.
And so it's been traditionally like, you know, like a weird sort of folklore thing in America for decades, right? But in the 90s, some dude who had like, he was like fresh out of art school or something, and he had been like experimenting with making like what do you call them? It's like altered reality games or augmented reality games. Yeah, you know, where it's like you create like a whole series of different multimedia things that are all linked together to create the impression of like this single thing as if it were in our reality, right?
Yeah, It like imposes something on the actual world or whatever.
Yeah,
like it's not full virtual reality. Yeah.
And so this guy was like, he was in the forefront of that. Like he was like one of the first people who was really trying that out, right?
Okay.
I forget his name, but he had decided that he was going to make this altered reality game kind of thing, augmented reality, altered, but where it was going to be based around Ong's Hat and how there's this conspiracy of these government scientists going there to perform these secret experiments where they had found a portal into another dimension and they used a machine called the Egg to transplant like themselves to this other dimension that had no people in it so they could perform all these weird experiments and stuff, right?
Okay.
And he was purposely doing this like just as a game, right? Just as something you could do for fun. He was letting people know, like, oh, this is just like a fun little story idea. You know, if you want in on it, go ahead, right?
Right.
And so he had like a whole. Initially, it was kind of like spread all across the internet, but he sort of like gathered it all into like one website that he was running, right?
Okay.
And people would go on this website to like swap little fake conspiracy theories about this place, and you know, basically just interact with it as like a fun thing, right? And he would regularly like go in there and be like, "You guys know it's just a game, right?" And then they'd be like, "Yeah," and he'd be like, "Okay, just checking, right?" Like he was not like trying to make it a cult. He was not trying to make it a conspiracy theory or anything like that.
Not like a legitimate one. It was just for fun.
But he wanted to publicize this stuff, right? Because he thought it was entertaining, right? And he wanted as many people to get in on it as possible, you know, just for their own amusement. And so he did a radio tour, basically, across the U.S., right? Where he was going to different radio channels, and he adopted this, like, persona to, like, you know, further this, like, augmented reality thing. But he was always upfront with the whole, like, you know, this is just an act, this is just for fun kind of thing. But he made the mistake of getting on Coast to Coast, right? which was
with Space Ghost.
Not with Space Ghost. Unfortunately, you would have been fine if it was Space Ghost, but no, it was.
Story, dude.
It was specifically a channel that was frequented by conspiracy theorists and ufologists and all that kind of shit, right?
Yeah, George Norrie was like Alex Jones in 4 Hours.
Yeah.
He was that. Wow. Bill Cooper was Alex Jones before Alex Jones. George Norrie was
Bill Cooper before Bill Cooper.
Bill Cooper, yeah.
It's the cycle of life. But yeah, so he went on this channel and he, did his thing, advertising his Hong's Hat conspiracy theory fake website thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that led, in very short order, to all the crazies who listened to this radio show getting on his website, and you had two kinds of crazies. Okay. You had the wannabe cult leaders who were immediately trying to hijack the Hong's Hat conspiracy, be like, you shouldn't listen to this guy, we know the real truth. We're going to tell you what to think. We're going to all that kind of stuff. And
that's not good.
And they were like straight up like taking over his forums from him, like getting in there, just dominating everything, telling people to follow them or shut up. And then you had the absolute nut jobs who got into it because they thought it was all real, and things got escalated because the wannabe cult leaders started weaponizing the crazy people who would just believe whatever, and they would literally send them to this dude's house because they found out where he lived very quickly.
Oh my God.
And so this dude literally had to escort crazy people out of his yard at gunpoint because they kept showing up to his house and staring at his windows, and they were clearly drugged up and out of their minds and shit, right?
Jesus Christ.
And
that's why you just got to start the cult first.
And he had people camping out on his yard. He had people threatening him. He was constantly getting all kinds of just online harassment. And he kept having all these cults that kept trying to crop up and steal his ideas from him about this stupid fucking scientists going into another dimension conspiracy. And eventually he just said to close everything down, right? Close up the websites, tell everyone, okay, it's over, I'm not doing this anymore, right? And what made it even weirder is at the same time, Lego put out some sort of really terrible line of products. I forget what it was called. It's Galacor or something. Okay. I keep thinking
Galacor.
Yeah,
Bionicles?
It was a sister product of Bionicles. They came out at the same time. They had the same ideas. Even
Bionicles for chicks.
I heard Lego. yeah.
Tires and Box is a big Lego fan.
Well, you won't be a fan of this because it was terrible.
Oh, okay.
So it was shitty Bionicle, right? I think it was called Galacor. I keep thinking Galaga Legos, but Gattaca Legos, yeah. But
Gattaca Legos, that would just be depressing.
But they should make it. It's a good idea. But yeah, so there's this god awful sci-fi Lego, but it doesn't look like Lego kind of product line.
Oh, the Build-A-Brick thing.
Well, like I said, it was kind of like Bionicle, except it was like action figures, but they were based around the idea of lynching.
That sounds extremely sexual.
What is glitching?
I don't like this word, glitching.
You don't want to get glitched?
I don't know what that means.
Glitched hard, man.
I feel like I might have a sore asshole after.
A combination of gushing and clinching.
So
what are you fucking talking about?
So these toys, they were little action figures, and the idea is
my thirst. Ew.
Yeah, gross, dude.
Yeah.
You just taught me a new word, and I'm not happy.
You don't like glitch?
I don't like glitching. No.
We're gonna have to work that into daily conversation now.
The
it's gonna be word of the day.
Christmas.
The glitch that's still Christmas. Oh no.
But yeah, so these fucking toys, right? The idea is that the glitching is that you swap out the body parts of the action figures, right?
Oh, that does
like
sexual.
Yeah, that sounds super sexual, dude. What's going on here?
But the Sid comparison is actually spot on. That's basically what they
seriously?
were. Seriously.
Oh wow. Okay. That was horrifying.
Yeah. This was an entire product line based around that idea. But what made them relevant to the story is that
I've seen one of these dudes.
Yeah, we haven't.
Yeah, you didn't fight many of these guys in the main campaign for Ragnarok, although they were repeated frequently as a boss fight in the first one.
Yeah, for sure in the first one. I remember fighting quite a few of them.
Because if there was any big criticism of the 2018 God of War, it was a little bit of a lack of enemy variety. And this was one that you saw a lot. So that makes sense that they didn't reuse it a ton.
With that spear, you can just crush the shit out of this guy.
You can't even touch me.
Yeah.
Well, we're playing on easy, and also because it's a roguelike mode, I'm just getting like RNG upgrades at random, and I've gotten some pretty good ones on this run. So
nice. Make it even easier. But yeah, so this fucking toy line, right? It was based on like this whole story that Lego had come up with. They even made a TV show about the fucking thing that involved a spaceship called the Egg that was being used to transplant people to another dimension.
Okay.
And about how there are all these aliens and crap, right? And so all the weirdos who had gotten like into this Ong's hat conspiracy thing.
He got glitched.
I really don't like this word.
You don't want to get. You're gonna get glitched, man. Sooner or later.
One of these days I'll get glitched.
Yeah.
You can run on for a long time.
They're going McConaughey.
So they're gonna glitch you down.
Gonna glitch you down.
But yeah, so they're like, oh shit, this is proof that the Ong's hat thing is real because it's getting into pop culture now. You know, even Lego's coming out and admitting that there's a dimension traveling conspiracy that they know about. So you know, this is proof.
Yeah, you know, when you want to disclose a conspiracy theory, you hide that shit in Lego.
Yeah, Lego's definitely the good place to hide that.
All that stuff that got broken by Lego.
Yeah, like all. But yeah, this is like a whole weird thing that just spiraled out of control.
Remember that Lego set, the moon landing film studio?
Wait.
You got like a little Stanley Kubrick minifig.
What is that?
Oh, shit, what is that?
Looks like someone left you a party.
Yeah, I mean, that was almost as good as the 9/11 Lego set.
It's the 9/11 Jenga crossover. So that little stone we just picked up is so it's like mementos, or like a haunting mementos of Kratos' past, right? So did I mean, I know you didn't play it yourself, but were you aware of, or did you play God of War Ascension?
Ascension?
Yes.
That was the one that
played
released
them all,
after 3?
Yep, because I got the...
Is that as good as Silent Hill Ascension?
I bought that definitive collection.
Yeah, so Ascension... Yeah. So in God of War Ascension...
The two PSP games and then the console.
Yeah, Tiresome Fox, just look up, like, Ong's hat, like,
Glinching.
Yeah, glinching for sure, and then I think it was Galacor.
I don't think you should Google the word glinching.
Galacor, I think, was the Lego product line.
Galaga?
Galacor?
Yeah.
But in God of War Ascension, that game was a prequel to the trilogy, all about Kratos being indebted to the Furies, and they literally
Furies, you said?
The Furies.
Galador, yeah, that's it.
Galador.
It looks like trash, as I'm
where
sure
they
you've seen.
Glinch. I'm gonna look up glitching.
You're gonna look up glitching?
I don't know, man. You can be on a list. Not that you're not already. I guess, to be fair, but
I don't know what websites you're gonna find.
But in God of War Ascension, Kratos, that game's all about Kratos fighting the Furies to break his oath to Ares, which is like he's like bound by magic by that oath. And so in that game, it's literally there's like oath stones like inside of this guy's body. He's
they're like gallstones.
Oh, hey, Siren.
A siren?
Huh. There's some interesting stuff.
Oh yeah.
Glinching, I guess, is a word for when you clench your teeth and grind them when you sleep. So it's a lot of ads for mouth guards.
Really?
Yeah. And then here's a gay uncle's ass glinching, and I'm gonna click on that.
Every once in a while, Every once in a while, I go into my spam email just to see if there's any funny titles, and the other day I looked at it, and I think one of them said Ugly Grandma Foot Job. That's a title, though. I mean, I don't know. That's
is that what you're into, man? Ugly
Grandma Foot Job.
Yeah, I don't know,
man. Spam email's funny.
A lot of these results are for grinding your teeth.
Interesting.
I wonder if it still meant that in the 90s.
I don't know. That's a good question.
Because, I mean, that's when all these Lego ideas were brought up.
Disrupted, you half-wit.
Remember when there were the Bionicles cartoons?
Yes.
Kind of, but I really did not ever engage with Bionicles as an IP.
I tried to avoid them.
Well, you know what, dude? That gave a lot of autistic kids meaning in life, dude. So.
Why are we talking about ugly grandmas? Ugly grandma foot jobs. Get it right.
Yeah, ugly grandma foot jobs.
Could a foot job even feel good?
I don't know. I've never gotten one.
Yeah, I don't know what that's like.
I've never asked a girl to give me that.
It's just not what you think of, you know?
It'd be a clumsy experience, right?
Yeah.
I've never asked a woman to touch my...
I've had times in my life where I've been so lazy that I've tried to pick something up with my foot and bring it to me because I didn't want to get up.
Oh, I know all the time.
That's really difficult, and
you gotta master it.
Yeah. Well, it just seems like it's just you don't have.
I feel like you gotta be into feet.
I don't have a ton of foot. I don't have a ton of foot control. It's just not there.
You can't open a door with a foot.
Probably not. No.
Maybe the grandma has experience. Yeah,
she's older.
Yeah, she's had some. She put the time in, to practice these foot jobs.
Yeah.
You don't want to practice foot jobs?
I don't know, man.
Alex, what do you think of a hobbit foot job?
She had to walk to school 5 miles.
A hobbit foot job?
A hobbit foot job.
Oh, no. Ooh. So that's hairy for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. When it comes to sex and hair, I'm always just manage it well. Whatever your plan is, go in with one.
Yeah,
it's like a lawn.
You gotta be groomed.
You
gotta be groomed, man.
Yeah, it's like a lawn. It's I don't care what you do with your lawn, but maintain it.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely am not expecting no hair at all, but
no, that's a little much.
Yeah.
Braid the foot hair.
Yeah.
There you go. Ooh, I like that.
Oh, God.
Like a Viking.
Yeah. Your foot has a mustache.
I'll see myself.
Well, we don't have to talk about it.
Well, it's too late. We're talking.
Yeah, we're talking about it now. It's one of those battle cats.
I don't want to scare Tiresome Fox off.
I mean, I don't think she was scaring. She was getting
Tiresome Fox has a pretty good sense of humor.
Yeah, and I think you're the one getting scared off.
Yeah, I think you don't like the hairy foot jobs.
Wow.
Hairy hobbit foot jobs.
I don't like feet, dude.
Yeah, you don't like feet.
I do not like feet. It's not for me.
Yeah. If you were Quentin Tarantino in the movie From Dusk Till Dawn.
Did you hear about Republican voters not being able to vote for Vivek?
Vivek Ramaswamy.
Oh. You're reminded of 9/11.
Is that serious? Do people really say that?
Poor guy.
Feet are pretty gross.
Yeah, there we go.
I mean, I'm not a fan of feet either.
Yeah, I'm not. I can't say I'm into feet.
Feet are purely functional for me.
Yeah, feet are they're a function of the human body, but
it's
not
a solid base. They're good to stand.
Solid base.
They're good to stand on. I wouldn't want to stand on hands.
Okay.
Feet
I don't have a problem with foot fetishists, but I would never be into a foot fetish.
Right. No, I mean, I agree with that. But,
you can't be leering at people in flip-flops, dude. I feel like if
you were... I'm just
foot
saying.
fetish, you shouldn't be able to stare at people's feet. Just
oh, yeah, I agree
stare
with
down
that.
somebody's shirt.
But if you got cast to play Quentin Tarantino's character in From Dusk Till Dawn... Quentin Tarantino's character in From Dusk Till Dawn.
But as a
would
hobbit.
you turn down sucking on Salma Hayek's feet?
I would.
Yeah.
That's weird.
I mentioned Salma
Even though it's Salma Hayek.
I mentioned Salma Hayek as being someone I thought was attractive earlier, and I still wouldn't want to suck on her toes. She's got a sweat in her socks just like everybody else. All right, I don't care.
What if it was What if it wasn't in a movie? What if it was somebody you really like, and they're really smoking hot, right? And they wanted you to suck on their toes for them.
I mean, I'm a giver, so don't want to I don't want to deprive, somebody I care about of, like, the things that interest them most.
What if they ask you, Alex, will you shove this garden hoe up your ass?
Well, see, I also do have lines, because I don't want to do things I don't want.
How much do you get paid?
That's a good question, too.
I mean, it was a movie role, so... I don't know, man. I'm just saying, like, I don't like feet either, but it's fucking Salma Hayek.
You're not the only one with weapons from
I don't know. It depends.
Salma Hayek.
Look, if you're... Ooh, nice.
That's an Aztec weapon.
Yeah, I was going to say, that is for sure in that. That's an obsidian sword.
Mm-hmm. Look, it depends. Like, if you're actually fucking Salma Hayek, okay. But if you're just in a movie with her, it's like,
Well, I don't want her feet in my mouth while I'm fucking her. Like, that's distracting.
Well, what if that's the condition?
This is distracting. She's gonna stick her toe in her mouth, and I'm still supposed to keep a rhythm up. Like,
yeah.
I don't know about that. Salma Hayek sounds demanding.
But yeah, I think it's the 9/11 thing that Afternoon Doom brought up is fucking hilarious. I didn't know that guy was named after a god from Morrowind.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah. He's just another one of those politicians where everything you can hear it comes out of his mouth is kind of horseshit.
Yeah, well, that's a whole politician.
That is all politician. I just don't trust you if you're a politician, to be honest.
I would actively distrust you if you're a politician.
I don't know. I give the guy some credit for saying things you're not allowed to say in politics, but I'm gonna go so far.
I've also seen him pretty... I mean, like... Yes, but in a certain context, but also I've seen him say some, like, stuff where he's totally pandering to.
Yeah.
Well, everybody's pandering. I don't know.
There's always that mix of, like, it just depends on which side you're on. You get to say certain things, and you have to pander certain things.
Exactly.
It's quite pathetic. There's not really any originality.
Yeah.
You were saying, Alex?
He's got different moveset with the different weapons, too.
Yeah, I can't think of any politician I haven't seen pander. To some extent...
Well, I don't trust him.
To some extent, Trump is probably the least pandering, because he seems to have no desire to change his personality, style, or message for an audience at all.
That's true in a weird way, actually, yeah.
Well, it's like a lot of politicians, you can find videos of them, like, changing their accents, or doing some shit like, remember when Hillary, like, went on the Breakfast Club and was like, I keep hot sauce in my purse, and it's like, no,
she's
you don't.
Yeah, she's like, black people like hot sauce, right? I'll lie about that.
You fucking walking librarian. You do not have hot sauce in your purse.
Oh, I remember Charlemagne the God did not believe her.
Nope.
No, it's just like,
he was like, bullshit, you fucking keep hot sauce in
don't
your
come
purse.
over here. She might as well have been like, and I drink grape Kool-Aid every day.
God, she's such a racist. She was like one of the people calling black kids super predators in the 90s.
It was. Of course, I mean, every politician these days was, because they're all still fucking around from the 90s.
Yeah,
that's true, because none of them will go away.
Yeah, well, to be fair to Hillary, at least she didn't write the bill like 5 days.
That's true.
That's very true.
Clinton had to pass it, though.
Clinton did pass it.
Yep.
So, I mean, she kind of was, like, tangentially involved.
I don't know, just the fact that he won't apologize for it. And yet he tries to go out there and have the rhetoric of, like, oh yeah, we need to end, like, police brutality and discrimination or whatever.
Yeah,
but then people will be like, do you feel bad about writing the 91 crime bill? And he'll be like, no. And it's like, well, it's the whole reason this happened, dude. Like,
what's that quote you can find videos of him saying, we hang out people for everything but jaywalking in the spill?
Yeah.
Yep.
Where he's
bragging about it.
Yeah, he was, like, proud of it.
Have you seen him do the split screen of Hunter Biden smoking crack, and then him going like, if you have a half ounce of crack cocaine, we do everything but hang you for jaywalking in this bill.
Alright, that's 2 tier boss fights.
I do like that we suplex
That's half
every
of them.
time.
Mm-hmm.
See, this tier is cooler, right?
Yeah,
He's got a sense of honor.
Understanding within yourself.
He's kind of Kratos' therapist. That's kind of what he's acting
Yes,
as.
that's good.
He's the only therapist.
Well, he is the more like mature concept of a god of war.
He is.
I do like that part of the character still kind of holds true.
Yeah.
Yes, these you dwell on. But it's not that simple, is it?
The Horde is vast, brother. What would have happened if you didn't stop it?
Our lands would have been overrun. Our people
Man, those big feet were going hard.
Your army is sworn to protect. An army led by you. Did you not feel a duty to fulfill your purpose? Did you not fear for the safety of your homeland? You saved them.
You would excuse my actions.
Excusing them is not the exercise, Kratos. Only accepting them.
Yes,
Accepting that you
seriously.
acted based on what you knew then, not on what was to come. Your motivation and their consequences are far more complicated.
Yeah, Tyrus and Fox, you get some of those Lynchy Legos?
Glitchy Legos.
Perhaps you have more to process.
Yes. I have much
The actual toys looked hideous too. Like
retired.
yeah, like they've got these god awful alien designs, and then like they've got like all these parts you're supposed to swap out. Like the main kid or whatever's the main character, you can like give him like jet engines for arms, and it looks just as bad as you're probably imagining.
Like that one character I tried to make that one time.
yeah.
How do you spell this thing? Glandor?
Glandor?
Glandor.
Where are you getting Glandor? That sounds like a Star Wars world.
Well, how is this spelled?
I think it's
Glimchin?
Galacor or Galakar.
Galakar, Galak.
Tyrus and Fox left it in the chat somewhere.
Yeah, if you, you don't have to pull it up, do you?
And what is
Oh, there you go.
Galador.
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 Thank you, Tyson
Yeah.
Fox. You're coming in clutch.
I'm glad
It's
you...
extremely hard to remember names. It sounds like so many other things. Yeah, that's horrible. They made a live-action show of that. It looked like trash.
Did they seriously?
Seriously.
Defenders
Yeah.
of the Outer Dimension.
Yep.
My God, dude.
This
that
was in like 2001,
ass.
maybe?
Ugh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. Oh,
Yeah.
This is like Beast Wars Transformers level CGI.
That's
Yeah.
like, what was the name of that
That's
anime?
the game, isn't it?
What was the name of that anime where they were all fighter jets?
Which one?
Strike Witches.
Strike
Oh, God. It's
Yeah.
not as bad as Strike Witches.
Well, I mean, Strike Witches was also
look at
clearly
that.
made by that
What the fuck is that? Oh my God.
All I can think is perhaps it's some sort of underwater crab-shaped crab.
Oh my God, these look like they look like the toys they had at like the Dollar Tree when I was a kid.
Well, they probably were, because that those toys did so badly that within like weeks of them coming out, they were in bargain bins. And stores were literally going, you buy $20 worth of stuff, we'll give you one of these for free. And customers were going, no, you won't.
I'm not buying anything because I don't want that. My kids are going hungry today.
My kids are going hungry.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea, Tyrus and Fox. We should do a watch party of Galakor.
We are good. Well, as soon as I get a
I
PC,
can't remember it.
as soon as I get a PC, we are
I'm just-
going to do more watch
I'm
parties
just
on this
glad
channel.
I'm glad we just have a resident Lego artist who's like aware of like these.
You mean me?
No, I was talking about Tyson Fox.
Oh.
Are you
Are you a Lego-
I like Lego, and I'm autistic,
artist?
so I thought you were. I thought you.
But you don't have like an obsessive collection of Legos, do you?
No, I have a few. They're so
Ew.
expensive.
Ew.
Yeah, there you go.
Ew.
I saw a great one somebody did. Somebody
That's
did
some
where-
Silent Hill shit right there,
I
dude.
thought
What the
Dick-
fuck?
Like a dick neck, dude.
I saw a great one of those somebody did where it was like a Hydra
Yeah.
alien, but each one of the Hydra heads was that head.
Ew. I don't like that.
So
I'm uncomfortable.
sorry, did I miss something?
We were just talking about Galador.
Yeah.
And
And how horrible it is.
Yeah, just I'm sure you've already looked it up, but just any Google image search of
I'm disturbed, frankly.
yeah, it's not a great looking toy.
I'm frankly very disturbed.
Yeah, we should watch this show, man. It had rubber suits and bad CGI, and
Like almost like old school Godzilla.
yeah,
Damn.
it was kind of trying to steal Power Rangers.
You know that the guy that played Godzilla in the original, like 1954 Godzilla, only died December of 2023.
Did he die in the Godzilla suit?
I don't think he died in the Godzilla suit, but like he lived that long. The guy that played Godzilla in 1954
How old was he back
only
then?
died a month ago.
How old was he then in 1954?
yeah.
I think he was in his 20s.
So he would have died in his 80s, 90s.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
long life.
It's a long way. Japanese people got good lifespans, though.
Do they?
Not good like lifestyles though.
No, but if you eat enough,
As long as-
honestly, if you eat enough fish, it just
Oh, fish is great for you.
massively taxed on.
Lego was on the brink of bankruptcy for a reason, and it's Galador. Galador is the reason. I'm not joking.
But yet somehow now it's the most valuable toy company on earth.
Yeah.
You believe that they make one product and they're worth more than Mattel or Hasbro?
Well, they're
Honestly,
so
I
fucking
can
expensive.
though, because and also, but like even like thinking about it in that context, like Legos are still like a better toy than almost anything.
Yeah,
well, yeah, because
sure.
It's real life Minecraft.
Pretty much. Well, they're extremely modular, and they really encourage creativity. It's just they're so damn expensive.
They are expensive.
Oh shit!
Well,
Here's
you
your
know,
Lego set. It's only $400.
The Danish economy is based on
Legos?
Well, Zempic and Legos. Yeah.
Trying to see if they made a Dutch version of the show because I have no memory of this whole line.
I've definitely never heard of it before.
It was only made in Canada.
Oh,
The TV show? Was
Yes, the TV show was made in Canada.
Canada only.
Pretty sure I would still have nightmares. That's accurate.
No wonder it looks like shit.
They had like no budget for it either.
No, you know how much money you can spend to make TV in Canada? Even good Canadian TV shows are impressive because of how they work their way around their shitty budgets.
dude, I will never
Like
be
Trailer
more...
Park Boys, like, I mean, like, that's a great show, but it's also like, okay, well, you guys just found a trailer park to film. Like,
I don't think Canadian television will ever top Orphan Black.
That's probably true.
no, probably not.
Dude, Orphan Black was so good.
Yeah.
I loved
But
loved
Orphan
that
Black
show. That's
had,
one of my
Orphan
top
Black
shows of all
had
time.
money injected in it from FX, didn't it? Was that
Did it have FX? I
did
think.
it
Well,
air
it
on
aired on AMC, but only
AMC, yeah.
only after like season 4 started.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was just a pure BBC Canada show
Interesting.
until then.
That's
Yeah,
wild, 'cause that
dude,
was,
Orphan Black was amazing.
yeah, that was a great
You think you only saw the first 2 seasons still, right?
I think so, yeah.
Oh my god, dude, Orphan Black was
Yeah, that show kicks
so good.
Super creative.
Oh, I loved that series. Tatiana Maslany is like one of the greatest actors
was
in this
so
generation.
good.
Dude.
Well, now she's She-Hulk.
Needed his power
Well.
to secure my
That's what he said it all.
She did work pretty good, though.
That's true. She
You
could
gotta
work.
give-
I mean, I enjoyed watching that ass bounce, but
that was
the show
convincing-
itself was
that
pretty
was convincing
dog shit.
twerking. Dude. Like, that was-
I agree.
Do you know that twerking in front of your mom can, like, end the apocalypse?
What?
that red panda fucking.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I never saw that.
Yeah, the power of twerking, dude.
That's
Yeah.
Didn't that make her bully be friends with her too?
I think so. She twerked her way out of a couple problems.
Your decision to
I don't know. I don't know, man, but Orphan Black is probably the greatest Canadian product of all time.
What else does Canada make?
I don't know, man. Orphan
Moose
Black.
has a decent beer.
Moosehead. Yeah, Moosehead Lager.
Yeah, it's solid.
And Moosehead Lager. That's a good
Not
beer.
too bad.
Yeah.
What
I don't know
else?
if it tops Orphan Black's though.
What else is Canada?
It's a great story.
Back in Blackberry movie.
Blackberry movie. Oh, that one that came out just last year? Glenn Howerton, Dennis from Always Sunny, played like the dude, one of the guys invented like the BlackBerry phone.
Oh, okay.
Who then got it,
that was
thunder
a
stolen
Canadian.
from.
That was a Canadian invention. Blackberries.
there you go.
Afternoon Tune, have you ever seen the show Orphan Black? Because I do think that is one of the best like TV shows maybe ever made, personally. It scratches the same like mystery itch that Attack on Titan scratched for me. Never finished it. Fuck it, I love that show. And I liked it all the way to the end. Too, which again is not always the case for, you know.
Well, not everything can be Game of Thrones. Serge.
Fucking
Game of
Game of
Thrones.
Thrones, man. Such garbage.
I can't wait for Free Body to come out.
That we're gonna have to do commentary. We have to do Rings of Power first.
Kind of wondering how it would end.
I thought it ended really well. I really liked it. I mean, like that's the thing. Like you talk about, like
Everything paid off in a way that made sense.
yeah, like you talk about
She-Hulk isn't getting season 2.
yeah, I am so surprised by that.
Twerking couldn't save it.
Oh damn, dude! I like that.
Did you? You don't see it?
No, I
never see
didn't.
that
I would
show.
never watch that shit, dude. I was done with Marvel long before that show came out.
Yeah, that's what I thought. No, Orphan Black was amazing, and like the thing is She-Hulk is genuinely one of my favorite Marvel characters from the comics.
Yeah, the comics
and
are cool.
Tatiana Maslany is one of my favorite actors, like in the world, and so I was really excited for She-Hulk.
They really screwed the pooch on
I
that
did
one.
not think it was good. Yeah.
They had a hell of an opportunity, and they.
I mean, the whole writing team like made a whole press announcement about how like we don't really know anything about the law or legal stories at all.
Sign,
so
man.
like we're just gonna not include that in this story about a legal based character.
Maybe you shouldn't write it then.
Yeah, exactly. It was just lazy. Like, I wanted to like it so bad. I watched the whole thing and I, like, with the thought that, like, oh, it'll get better. And then it didn't.
I feel like that's what happened to most Marvel fans.
Yeah, I'm kind of done with Marvel.
Well, let's just see if Disney can ever get his shit together again.
As a whole, as an entire
An entire
company.
company. It's not even just Marvel.
No, it's Disney as an entire
Disney.
company.
Yeah, Disney
Right,
is
companies in
yeah.
the toilet.
Well, I mean, when was the last time they even had a good animated movie?
Soul.
Yeah,
Soul was amazing.
Soul
I
was good.
fucking
Soul
loved
Soul
Soul.
was really good.
Soul was great.
That was probably the last time.
And
But
that
I
was
also
like the only one in a sea of suckage.
Yeah.
the good dinosaur was, I thought, was
No,
fucking garbage.
Pixar had
It was the bad
trash.
dinosaur.
The bad dinosaur. Yeah, Soul was amazing. I loved
What
Soul.
about Luca?
I thought Lucas sucked too.
I never saw it.
Yeah, I thought that was terrible. Like, there's so much you could do with Italy as a culture. And
What was that?
It was just this weird, like,
Encanto?
creepy business.
That
Encanto
was-
was
yeah.
okay.
I enjoyed
It was solid.
Encanto.
It was,
I never saw that one either.
It was, but it wasn't quite That wasn't quite to the level.
I liked Encanto, but I thought the protagonist was the least interesting thing about it.
Yeah,
That was my problem with
it
Encanto.
was a visually very cool movie though.
Well, like, I think Encanto, I liked all of the side characters more than the protagonist.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like, I guess sometimes you want your protagonist to be, like, almost, like, the least interesting character out of a sense of...
It depends on what kind of story you're doing.
It does, yeah. I don't know. Encanto, I did really enjoy it for the most part, but yeah, I just wish the main character was more interesting. Like, I remember thinking, like, oh, the twist in Encanto is going to be that the main character's power is to give people personal resolutions through through song, right? Like, but then, like, it just turned out, oh, she didn't have an ability at all. She was just kind of boring and plain Jane.
Did you see Wish yet?
I know. You mean the tacit endorsement of communism, the movie?
I mean, it's more of an endorsement of authoritarianism in general.
Encanto, that movie makes you sound like a little girl. I see. The thing is, I was like, I did really like a lot of it. It was just the main character I found boring. Like, literally every other character I thought was awesome.
No,
I have not seen Elemental.
I've not seen Elemental.
I thought it looked like ass. I've heard it's actually better than it looked because it's like very much sort of like a story of like immigrants type stuff. Because I think one of the lead people who made it was like sort of Asian immigrants, so he made a lot of that into the story.
Okay,
but
it's decent.
Okay.
And
the trailers did not wow me though. It just looked like
it looked like
a rip-off of Zootopia.
Well, my big thing, is it was doing
like
the same race relations commentary as Zootopia, but like not quite as interesting.
Yeah.
That and it also felt to me looking at it a lot like Inside Out.
Mm-hmm.
Just like
Can you believe they're doing a sequel to that?
Are they making a sequel?
They're doing a sequel.
That was a one-time.
Pixar should not do sequels.
No.
I mean, Toy Story is
okay. Toy Story is okay.
They're stretching that though.
Well,
like I did not think Toy Story 4. Oh, there's
that was
the first game.
That's too much.
Yeah, I didn't like Toy Story 4 as much as the trilogy.
No.
But no, I like, honestly, Tyson Fox, I totally agree with Encanto for the most part. I just wish the main character was...
Coco is great. I like
Coco was amazing. I loved Coco. Mm-hmm. I loved Coco.
That's a really good one.
Yeah, that was a great one. I really liked Coco. And the thing is, like, Disney and Pixar or Pixar still they genuinely do great stuff still. It's just not all the time anymore.
They're not consistent.
Yeah, they're not consistent. That's the big thing.
I think Pixar, maybe they still have a couple of ideas in them every once in a while. Disney does not.
I also think that all may be in the past at this point.
Very possible.
Like something about the last few years has really done some serious damage at Disney as far as creative stuff.
You mean Bob Chapek being a fucking moron?
Yeah, but like I don't know, man. Like he Chapek'd over the whole place. It's lingering. Like they
lingering Chapek.
Yeah, the Chapek.
Oh God, who Chapek'd over the wall?
Yeah, the Chapek is in the fabric. Like it can't be removed.
The Chapek is coming from inside the house.
Whatever it is, the suck is there, and it's not coming out, dude. Like,
well, I mean, it's anytime any corporation gets so big that like its success. Pixar gets me with the shorts.
I've heard the shorts are pretty good.
Shorts.
I did not like that lava one though.
Yeah, that shit was.
I didn't like the lava one.
What was the lava one?
It was all just a pun.
It was like two islands.
Oh, we should make Michael watch that.
Oh, he'd hate that.
It was two islands were trying to hook up or whatever. So they were like singing.
Like instead of I love
and
you,
it was
I
entirely
love you.
based on
a pun.
Lava puns.
That's lazy.
Where it's like,
That's
I love you, I lava you.
Yeah, I fucking hated that one.
It was bad. Not great.
How touching. Yeah.
I'll tell you, the last Disney movie I actually liked was Moana.
Moana was good.
Since Moana, but Moana was good.
Seen Loop? Have you seen Loop?
Loop. Is that like Looper?
Loop.
No, I'm guessing it's Pixar short.
No, I don't know that.
I don't know if I know the names of them.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that one.
I have seen. I think all.
That is the Helios shield that you got in.
Yeah, I saw that. I don't know why they're doing a live action Moana.
I hate
the
live action Disney shit so much.
Dude, that corpse is still warm. Like, I mean,
I hate it. The only
not an old movie.
What live action Disney remake has been good other than Jungle Book?
But Sage.
I liked Jungle Book. I did think Jungle Book was good.
But Sage.
Girl who's nonverbal and they do
Little Mermaid had Aquafina as a seagull.
Okay.
I hated Aquafina.
That was what the world needed to see.
Yeah, I didn't know. I don't think
you didn't like Aquafina singing.
No.
And it went wah wah. Oh, that was one of the worst musical numbers in the history of film. That shit pissed me off.
No, that was garbage, dude. Fuck that shit so hard. Take your hair that's got all butt.
That's an excellent Aquafina impersonation.
I don't even dislike Aquafina.
No, I've liked her in a lot. I've actually liked her in a decent amount of stuff. I think she's pretty funny. Like she's.
What in that particular movie? Holy shit, she was bad.
Yeah.
Well, like who was like
making live action?
Who was like
animated anything?
Who's like who can sing?
Oh, there's another old Greek enemy. Remember those guys that would hide, like fucking go into the burrow into the floors?
Yeah, the mole man.
Aquafina is like the female equivalent of Gilbert Gottfried.
That's accurate though. That's incredibly accurate.
Like part of her charisma is how obnoxious and grating her voice is. Like that's part of her persona.
Right, it's like on purpose.
Not a bad thing. It's funny in certain contexts.
Aquafina should have been Iago.
Yeah, he would have been a good Iago, dude.
There you go.
That would have worked. But instead we had Will Smith, the cuck genie.
Yeah, making the genie a cuck didn't work so well.
What? I mean, like sometimes your wish is for another guy to
grant
fuck your wife.
Look, I granted my wife 3 boyfriends.
The real secret is she can wish for as many boyfriends as she wants. Poor Will Smith, dude.
I just feel bad for him at this point, man.
You gotta like it. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
No, I think Will Smith is gay.
Yeah, that's possible.
I think Will Smith is gay, and
the Church of Scientology
in which case,
the Church of Scientology is forcing them to stay together because otherwise dirt about their family would come out.
That's possible. Well,
I'm pretty
if that's
confident.
the case, you can't expect Jay to just be a beard her whole life.
That's also fair.
Yeah.
I guess you can't blame Jada either in that particular scenario.
Well, there are things you can blame her for.
Oh, there's a Minotaur.
Hey.
Because somebody's got to bend her over that red table. Because can't believe that's a real thing where like 3 generations of that family like sit down and talk about like their vaginas like every week on Facebook Live. Like, I just was watching that.
Yeah, that family's a mess, dude.
Weird. I don't know. I still think Will Smith deserves it.
You think so?
I don't know, man. How are you gonna smack Chris Rock like that?
Yeah.
Chris Rock is a living legend.
Well, I don't know, man. If you think you've been like depicted as pathetic for like the last like 6 years in a row, and you can't like find any common ground.
If there's anybody in the world in a position to not look pathetic, it's Will Smith. Like
I agree with that.
He's got the money, the power, the fame, the influence to not be a giant cuck.
Yep.
Like,
but if you're gay and you are so terrified of what people will think
why
of you,
wouldn't he just come out?
I know. People don't judge anymore for the most part about that, but
Maybe the church does. I mean, the church will send goon squads after
well,
you,
like
maybe.
you know about how Jada and Will Smith opened up a church, like a school based on Scientology's teachings that were like abusing kids.
Yeah, Ethan Rich smacked them.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, dude.
Scientology.
They're hardcore.
Yeah. Oh,
Leah Remini, that chick that like got out of Scientology and was like
From
telling
King of Queens.
Yeah, that chick, she was talking all sorts of shit about the Smith family as like big secret Scientologists. So I'm convinced that Will Smith is totally gay and it continues to hold the facade of his straight persona.
Remember there were those
the Church of Scientology.
Remember Alex, did you hear about those rumors that he was Will Smith was fucking some other dude from like a movie they'd both been in?
Yeah, there were big stories about that.
Are you not allowed to be gay and a Scientologist? They're not cool on the gay stuff.
I don't think so.
That's my motto. Yeah, no, I really do. If you can eat the rich.
I think Will Smith fucked Margot Robbie.
That did seem likely for a while, but I don't know, man. I really do think he's gay and that he's like terrified of the Church of Scientology's like leaking shit out about him personally.
But Scientology has some
Maybe
of the
bi.
Maybe
Scientology.
he can be bisexual, yeah.
Scientology has some gay celeb. Like I guess closeted. Like Tom Cruise and John Travolta are both.
Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
People like
Tom Cruise, the fudge packer. He's a fudge packer. He's always packing fudge. Oh, look at that! This is the boat that you fight the Hydra on in the first game.
Conspiracy theory alert! Did you watch too much Kaladar? That was good.
But no, I don't know, man. I really do. I really think Will Smith is gay, and Scientology has made it impossible for him to just come out and just be himself, and so he has to put up with Jada.
What else can they leak? Will Smith exposed his whole life already.
Well, that's also true.
Yeah, I don't know how much damage they can actually do to him at this point.
I don't know. I mean, you're welcome to your theory about Will Smith being gay, but I mean, I think he's just a cuck, dude. Like, I mean, it's just like he just exhibits too much of like that behavior, man.
Well,
when Jada. You know if like my significant other like took out their phone and started live streaming and asked me to like thank the therapist that like told you that it was cool for you to go fuck that random dude, I'd be like, you get that phone out of my face.
Well, or the thing is that they have a genuine open relationship that he doesn't mind, but it is because of their fame, it's unacceptable. Right, because they're a famous family that will get judged, and so he keeps it kind of hidden because they're just wealthy and famous, and that'll tarnish their image.
He just seems so uncomfortable. Like.
He does seem really uncomfortable with it. That's the big thing, yeah. I don't know, man.
It's confusing.
I don't know, man. I do think that cuck shit is like the fall of civilization.
I mean, the rich and powerful, they're welcome to their Caligula adjacent behavior, but like.
Here's a question: was Caligula a cuck? Sad world of him being gay is a secret they hold over him, though. Yeah.
Right. I mean, that's my big thing. Is if he is just gay, it's like fucking just come out about it, dude. Like it's fine. Like people don't give a shit anymore.
But also, I mean, Will Smith is an older dude. Maybe he still holds on to some of those preconceived notions from 20, 30 years ago.
Right. That's kind of what I keep thinking. Is like maybe he feels stuck in a world that doesn't exist anymore, and even though he won't be judged for it, he still feels the pressure because the way he grew up had that pressure, you know?
Yeah.
He also, at one point in his life, wanted to have a rap career, and was pretty roundly rejected by the rap community.
Well, it's
pretty
because-
much for the reason that they thought he was kind of gay. Like not so explicitly in like a sexual standpoint, but like
That's because
in the
Will
90s,
Smith.
it was like.
That's because his rap music was like, I respect my mom and I don't talk shit about women and I walk grandmas over the corner and I like it was just like most. Yeah. It's like
dark shit basically.
Like I'm not saying you can't have rap music that isn't like dirty in any way, but like his rap music was like the most just like I'm inoffensive in every possible way.
It had no edge to it.
Yeah, it had no edge at all, and I feel like that's why it didn't work out that well.
But I mean, the '90s was like kind of peak like. You can't be gay, like kind of a time period.
It's true. That was Don't Say Gay and all that.
Right.
Or Don't Ask, Don't Tell.
Don't Ask, the hardcore Don't Ask, Don't Tell. Well, actually, 2000 was Don't Ask, Don't Tell.
I mean, it's still sort of like a...
No, it was 90s, because that was Bill Clinton that pushed for Don't Ask, Don't Tell.
No, that's true.
People forget the Democratic Party was also very different.
Yeah,
that's true.
People try to act like
Democrats have always been on the side of gay marriage.
They have not.
Whereas, like, even Obama wasn't when he got elected.
Nope. That was like a whole big thing. Is him like doing a turn later in his term. Pro gay all of a sudden.
Right. I don't know. That's just my thing is I think Will Smith is gay, and the Church of Scientology has prevented him from being able to be himself, and he's got to hide that shit, and so he comes off... I honestly think he comes off as more of a pathetic cuck than he actually is, because I think he'd just go fuck some dudes and not really give a shit if not for the Church of Scientology.
Yeah, you guys are pretty socially...
Oh, wow, yeah.
Forward thinking.
I can't talk shit about that.
Maybe if Will Smith was Dutch, he wouldn't have had to do so much of the shit that he is.
You guys want to borrow Will Smith from us for a while?
Yeah, maybe he could fix them and send them back.
It's like sending a car to the mechanic. Aren't these some dark
I think Will Smith is what happens when you don't raise your kids like Shaq. Shaq's a good dad. Shaq's a smart guy.
He was like, no, we're not rich, I'm rich.
Yeah, where he's like, why can't we go on vacation, Dad? We're rich. And he's like, we're not rich, I'm rich.
You know what? Shaq was also a better genie.
That's all.
Oh, God.
Right,
Shaq is who Will Smith wishes he could be.
I believe that.
I'm just going to do that real quick.
Sure.
Right back, and then we'll get to the next. I think number 3 tier boss fight.
Okay, let's go cause some problems.
Oh, wait, no. Actually, don't fight it.
It's too late. It's started.
Because it's a roguelike mode, it'll actually,
Well, now we have a prime minister that wants to contradict the Constitution, so we got that going for us, which is nice. Oh, that sounds like that's kind of the trend these days. For,
I don't know.
National leaders.
Yeah, you guys, you get to fight us for best blonde comb over in the world.
Every fucking world leader's got the same hair these days.
There's some variety, but every world leader's got some crazy hair.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. It's like they're all trying to imitate Trump. Like, it's amazing. Like, America really is like the fucking beacon that the rest of the world looks at, and it's like what to do.
Well, they are saying this is the year of elections. Like a lot of the biggest elections period are going to happen this year. Like
you heard about the one in Taiwan, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
And how China was like, you have a choice between war and peace.
I was shocked to see the DPP win.
Yeah.
Just because there had been a lot of talk in Taiwan about whether it was smart to antagonize China, if a war with China could be won, and they didn't win that much.
Hey, this guy's been in our parliament for 8 years.
Oh, yeah, he's been around. I know he's been around since before Trump got into politics, for sure.
But I'm sure he got more popular because of that.
Oh, yeah.
We are original. Trump's kind of technically been in politics for a long time, though. He's just been very sort of a background figure.
Yeah, well, he's been an endorser and
he used to run
a commentator.
Yeah, but
he ran in 2004 4, maybe?
Yeah. He, like, swapped parties every time, too.
Yeah.
The only reason he's Republican now is because that was the first party to embrace him. He doesn't give a shit about any of that.
Yeah, well, he always just looked at what the political opportunity was. Like, you can watch he'd switch to the party of the opposite party of the incumbent, you know, so.
But yeah, like, I'm sure you heard that Biden was like, yeah, we don't support Taiwan's independence.
I mean, the U.S. kind of has to do that.
Right.
That's like long-standing official U.S. policy.
Right, because we don't want to start a war with China, but we also have to, you know, toe the line and all that shit.
Yeah, we live in an interesting era.
I'm back. What it is.
May you live in interesting times.
We have now we got war with Yemen.
1989. Ooh, that is a long time.
So what did I miss in the chat here?
Yeah, that's let's see, who was the Trump of '89?
Trump. Trump wanted to be president in the 80s, dude. He was trying since then.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did. What are you talking about? He's been trying to do that shit since the 80s.
90s.
There's verifiable interviews of him doing it in the 80s.
90s.
100% in the 80s.
No, like the Reform Party didn't even come around.
Scimitars.
Kopesh.
Oh, Kopesh, yeah.
From Egypt.
I don't know. The 80s is like Buchanan era.
Dude, I'm telling you, I've seen shit from the 80s about him talking about it.
I don't know, maybe.
I think it's coming through the sound better than that.
Oh shit.
I just wish Ross Perot would have won.
Well, technically became part of Parliament in 1998.
Oh, okay.
Well, that kind of narrows it in a bit. Trump was definitely a thing politically.
Oh yeah, in the 90s he was, because he was going after Pat Buchanan's lane for the Reform Party or whatever it was at that point. I don't know. Should have been Ross Perot. I would have laughed so hard if Ross Perot managed to get elected.
That was good shit.
His voodoo stick. I want a president with like a crocodile claw on a stick.
Yeah, we gotta bring back
shit.
Yeah, we gotta bring back like that old school, like fucking like shamanic kind of like governance, right? Gonna have to Google this. I'm not an active fan of this guy.
Yeah, no, neither are we. Trump, you mean, right? Yeah.
No, she's talking about Builders, their new the guy who won their election. Is he going to be able to form a coalition? Is that going to happen, or are they too iffy on it?
Are there any political figures anywhere that we can say we're happy about?
How did it feel?
People. Somebody I'm glad is leading a country.
I don't like the guy in El Salvador.
Yeah, Bukele's pretty dope. I like Bukele.
Yeah, I like Bukele too.
Okay. I saw something where it said if they forced another election, he'd just win even more seats. So I feel like you gotta just let him in government.
Yeah, Bukele in El Salvador, I mean, that country's turned around really quickly in a very small amount of time.
That dude is Bukele. That guy is like truly like an Aurelian like philosopher king.
He's like when you talk about like Augustus being an emperor that was like legitimately like thoughtful of the people, but still like authoritarian
kind
at the
of a
same time.
benevolent dictator.
Benevolent dictator, yeah. That's essentially what Bukele is.
I mean, he is running for re-election. He seems to be respecting the democratic process as of now, but
we'll see how that goes.
He has kind of weakened the
Lula da Silva.
You like Lula?
I don't
know. I don't know about Lula.
I'm trying to remind me about him.
Brazil.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
He kind of was put there by the American government, though. He's kind of not legitimately, right? Isn't that the guy I'm thinking of? He's kind of put there by the American government, not actually elected.
I don't know. I do think there was a lot to Operation Car Wash, and that he's still kind of a corrupt figure with financial ties to the CCP, but
I thought it. No? Okay, I could be wrong. I just thought I remembered thinking of someone else. I could be thinking about someone else. I just thought I remember him having some major American government backing. But
no, I think he's closer to China than he is to the U.S.
That also does not seem like a good thing, though.
Yeah. Well, if you're
the person
talking...
he replaced was rigging hard against him.
Well, yeah, was Bolsonaro was not good. Bolsonaro was not good at all. So, like, I totally, I'd probably rather have Bukele than Bolsonaro.
Bolsonaro was like a...
Bolsonaro was like a...
Trump? Well, he was like a Pinochet type, like Latin American right-wing reactionary.
Right.
Yeah.
To the fact that, like, Lula and Dilma Rousseff after him had pushed Brazil pretty hard to the left, which in Latin America, as soon as you go to one extreme, the other extreme is guaranteed to get elected afterwards.
Well, that's going to be here for
continent has,
The person he replaced, I think, wanted to overthrow him, but America, I think, kind of went like, chill out.
Okay.
Yeah, I know Blinken flew down there to tell him that he couldn't bitch about the election.
Get that suplex in.
That's 3 or 4. One more and we're done.
Nice.
That one was a close one, though.
Yeah, that one was a bit harder. His final boss fight actually did genuinely give me some trouble on, like, regular difficulties.
Right.
I'm hoping Easy will be able to do it in one try, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah. That would kind of suck if we go through all of those and then we just fucking, like, flub out at the end.
Yeah.
And you handled it
unskillfully. I don't think there's a political leader of a major country that I like.
They all suck.
At all.
I can't think of
There are smaller countries I like. Do you like
Evo Morales? I don't know who that is.
Yeah, I do think
which
it's
one
cool.
is he?
Bolivia.
Bolivia.
I do think it's cool that he's as on the side of the native Bolivian people as possible. I do think some of his economic choices have been pretty weak.
Your legacy has always been a complicated.
I like Paul
Goodness
Kagame
is not a
in
destination
Rwanda.
we arrive at.
That dude's pretty smart. He's another one of those benevolent dictator types.
Misfortune may drive
That's
anyone
kind of,
to
I don't know. I think that's the best kind of leadership. I just don't know how you make a succession plan for it.
Well, yeah, if you get lucky and you have a benevolent dictator that actually does a good job, their successor is never going to do it.
That's why empires always crumble. It's what happened to Persia, it's what happened to Rome, it's what happened to China. Like, it just keeps happening.
But if you want to talk about the most good that can be done for people with the resources of the state, that is the way that is the best government you can have. There's just no way to guarantee good succession.
Yeah.
Julius Malema is not a head of state, but he's cool.
Julius Malema.
He's in South Africa.
Okay.
He's pretty intense. He's old school. He's an old school. No, he's like an old school left wing revolutionary. Doesn't he wear a beret?
No, I made you.
Is he leading the?
You know that like you're a hardcore left wing revolutionary when you got a beret on.
Yeah,
like, that's like the hat of those people.
We had to break to build a new one, picking up the pieces.
That's the first shot I've taken in like a year.
I don't take shots anymore.
You made a difference here.
He leads the EFF.
In some circles, a symbol of change. On many
the Eel Fucker Federation.
I'm sure that's what it stands for.
Yes,
I don't know if I trust this Eel Fucker, man.
How you use it.
I don't know what to tell you.
Eel Fuckers are not good people.
Inside, we encountered
economic freedom fighters. Oh, okay, that makes more sense.
You'll never be able to say an acronym without him misinterpreting it.
Although, no matter how like personally inspiring or interesting a politician from South Africa is, I don't know, man.
You were close.
That country is in shambles, dude.
Yeah.
What is it? Is it Johannesburg? Doesn't even have water.
I heard people being murdered in my hotel in Johannesburg.
Yeah, I don't know.
Isn't it South Africa where like car theft had become so abundant that people started like arming their cars with like automated flamethrowers?
You're talking about San Francisco.
You're not supposed to. You're really just not supposed to drive your car in a city. That's how bad it is. They recommend you use your car.
I really think you guys are thinking of San Francisco.
Nah, people don't steal the cars so much as San Francisco. They just break into them and shit.
Nelson Mandela was Biden's BFF.
The shit that Biden has claimed.
The things that Biden says.
I was arrested in South Africa. Were you? No, police asked me like 2 questions to leave.
Yeah, Joe Biden, he is a lying, dog-faced pony soldier.
He is a lying, dog-faced pony soldier.
And they claimed that was from like a John Wayne movie.
Yep.
Then they forced some poor journalist at the New York
Watch
Times
every John Wayne movie
and be like, this shit never came out.
Can we ever get a president that's like somewhat normal?
No.
Like someone who just does.
How dare you
job.
even ask?
You guys ready for president, or what do they call it in Ireland? The Taoiseach?
The Taoiseach?
Yeah, you ready for the...
Biden versus Trump.
Dementia!
It's amazing.
If anybody has not seen it, you should go watch the Ryan George 2028 debates video. That shit's accurate as fuck.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Taoiseach, Conor McGregor.
Conor McGregor just being the fucking Prime Minister of Ireland.
Yes, he wants it.
Thoughts on the IRA?
I understand the Irish hatred of the British. I can't really disagree with them about it. You know,
should ask Courtney about that.
You know, it's that's another one of those things where it's like, is it genocide? You know, it's not dissimilar from what the Soviets did in Ukraine, what the British did to the Irish in the 1860s.
That's true.
Just like
kinda is, yeah.
What did they intentionally starve them? Was it an accident? Was it like it? Yeah, no, they did the Irish pretty dirty.
Yeah.
People don't appreciate the religious divide in Ireland either.
No.
It's like, yeah, the Northern Irish consider themselves to be like ethnically Irish, but they are religiously, they're Protestant, and that's a huge cultural difference in Ireland. Although now everybody in Ireland's basically an atheist, or at least way less connected to the church. The sex scandals in the Catholic Church pretty much killed the influence of the Catholic Church in Ireland. People are pretty mad.
Waiting for the sex scandals to kill all of the other religions in general.
For whatever reason, though, it is that the Catholics do it the most.
Yeah, I'm amazed at anybody.
I don't know if they do it the most. They've just been caught the most.
I don't know.
It's a good question.
It's a good question.
Right? I mean, like, have they really done it the most, or did they just get caught the most? Because I feel like they just get caught the most.
That's entirely possible. I mean, how many fucking weirdo fucking compounds do you hear about in the desert, you know, where, like, you got Protestants out there doing gross shit?
She reminded me of my own daughter.
I don't know. Not that many. Definitely hear about the Mormons being out there in the desert.
Mormons are fucking
Mormons for sure, but I've definitely heard of quite a few, you know, like American Christian compounds where they got like whole weird incest stuff going on.
Yeah, it's just not cool, man.
I don't know. I definitely stuff like that. I mean, the Branch Davidians were down in Waco for sure, and there were all sorts of accusations and stuff like that. And then Warren Jeffs was being real creepy, but that was Mormon fundamentalism. I don't know that many stories about it. I just know that there's not a diocese in the world, basically, that hasn't paid off and shuffled at least a few priests around.
That's definitely true.
Right.
Like, for whatever reason, it's like endemic in the Catholic.
It's almost tradition in the Catholic Church.
Yeah.
Well, like, I mean, you've heard the stories about some of those fucking sects of the church where, like, the entire concept of prayer beads is just that they give them to the kids that they think are the most vulnerable for other priests to also pray on. The entire idea of prayer beads.
I think the document that outlines the church's policy for dealing with that type of stuff is from, like, 300 AD.
Yeah,
they've been dealing with it for like
this isn't new. This has been going on for thousands of years. There are ample stories of like popes, even in like the fucking 1400s, who were doing that kind of stuff.
Right. It's gross, man.
Yeah,
it's fucked up.
This is why the Protestants. One of many reasons why the Protestants probably did the right thing by breaking off.
Oh man, it's like every religion eventually turns to that shit eventually. It's like the more power and protection than anything. I mean, it doesn't even have to be religion.
Yeah.
Right.
Anything, whether it's religion or
like political power,
power,
any sort of power.
Anytime anything grants you protection from consequences, eventually it seems to turn into that.
Well, there's also there's plenty of stories and stuff like that from the days of the Roman Empire.
Yep, 100% there are.
Oh yeah.
Well, before Catholics were a thing. It's probably everywhere. Not fun to think about, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, fucking Jeffrey Epstein taught us that, if nothing else. Right? I mean...
Can't believe Chris Tucker went to that island, dude.
Yeah, that's crazy that Chris Tucker was on those flights, dude.
I like Chris Tucker.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
I don't like him now.
Yeah, I liked him, though. He made me laugh.
It's hard to like anybody that was like 100%.
The Pope recently said Marxists and Christians have a common mission.
Well, that makes me dislike Christians more. Because I definitely fucking don't like Marxists.
Well, I mean, their current Pope is like an ongoing long-term PR campaign to sort of rebuild the Catholic Church's branding after all the scandals, after the last guy had to resign.
That's true.
So he's going to say whatever the fuck he thinks will get people to, like, maybe consider being Catholic, because they're desperate right now.
Right, that's true.
Valid and otherwise.
I mean, wasn't this also the first Pope who was, like, finally okay with, like, contraceptives?
I think so.
Yeah, and
I think so,
the Catholic Church is like a hard anti-contraceptive stance for that. Pope also came up with gay marriage. There you go.
Right, which I mean, and that part I support, right? Like,
and trans people, yeah.
Yeah, like I mean, I'm all for those
those are
things.
objectively good things. It's just that the Catholic Church is doing them for a cynical reason, which is that they're desperate for anybody to like be willing to give them the time of day right now.
Right, which I mean, in an ironic sense, right? Like, I mean, again, a lot of people use the term woke just for anything they don't like.
Catholic Church is woke now.
When you do a good thing for a selfish, cynical reason, that's kind of also what that means.
Right,
too,
a win
right?
is a win.
A win is a win. I mean, that's. I don't know.
Look, I would rather...
Kind of, yes.
I would rather the Catholic Church deal with its many scandals and actually punish the people who are doing that shit, rather than just be like, oh, we're okay with gay marriage now.
I agree with that.
It's like being okay with gay marriage, yeah, that's good, but you're not addressing the bigger problem you're responsible for.
Right, exactly. Like, you can come out... I guess that's the thing, right, is like you could come out for a positive thing now, but if you don't punish the people who are responsible for the bad things before you came out for the positive thing, then it kind of comes across as hollow. Mm-hmm. You gotta also punish the bad thing too, instead of just going like, "Oh, we're in support of that now."
It's just too much of a smokescrene. Even for allies gifted the Pope a communist crucifix. What is a communist crucifix?
Yeah, I want to know more about this.
Is that like Karl Marx on a cross?
Like, well, yeah, what the fuck is that?
I would love to see, like fucking like Lenin or something like that, just on the cross.
I mean, the thing about Karl Marx, right, that makes communism ring so hollow to so many people is that he was himself a bourgeoisie, complaining about the bourgeoisie.
Well,
right?
that's always been the thing about revolutions of any kind, is it's always actually like the lower levels of the upper class or the upper middle class that is actually leading the revolution.
Right.
In the name of the common man. I mean, America is that. Right?
Yes.
Like, the founding fathers were all well-to-do, wealthy, like, landowners.
And slave owners.
Yeah, and slave owners. Jesus crucified on a hammer and a sickle! Oh, God, that's amazing! That's incredible! That's just... Oh, wow. I want to see that.
Was he really? Oh, that's fantastic.
You can Google it. I'm going to have to look at that later.
Oh my god. No, I'm doing it right now.
Yeah, fuck it. Yeah,
Dude,
I want to see
Jesus crucified on a hammer and
That's
sickle.
hilarious.
That's so
That's
funny.
genuinely amazing.
This is so fucking funny. Oh my god. Wow, I spelled that.
I don't know what you were trying to spell there.
I'm just hitting buttons too fast. On a hammer and sickle. That's fucking funny.
Probably could have just looked up communist crucifix.
I suppose that's true.
Oh, whatever. As long as it comes up, right?
Oh my
shit.
god,
Yeah,
yes
yeah.
they did. Holy shit,
That's
yes they did.
amazing.
Wow, okay.
Oh, God.
That's fucking funny.
That's hilarious.
That's fucking funny. Oh, wow. Okay.
But yeah, I mean, that's a common thread with, like, every sort of, like, major revolutionist ideology and philosophy.
Well, the revolution
originates within the upper class or upper middle class.
Right. Most revolutions come from the bourgeoisie themselves. Right. Not from the actual.
Yes, I know what I'm asking for my birthday.
Well, I mean, the truth is.
What was what the fuck? That's right. They just straight up in that picture.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the truth is that the ideology of the lower classes is always just basically just populism on top of any other political ideology that moves them. Because all the poor really want is a system that prioritizes them more than the rich. They'll take it from pretty much anywhere.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's a communist or a fascist promising them that. They'll take it as long as they think they can believe it.
And that the middle class ends up siding with whichever one feels out of balance, or feels like more in balance.
And the upper middle class / lower upper class generally feels more interested in sort of creating that narrative in the first place because they know that they're the ones who are going to be more likely to inherit power.
Right, which is why communism always ends badly because it ends up just being a power play.
Right.
Not actually anything to help the lower class. It's just helping the middle class feel like they're in power. Yeah, by some sort of perception element.
Mm.
Well, I mean, and part of it is there is an element of self-hatred.
That dude did look like Kratos.
He kind of did, yeah.
There's an element of self-hatred from the children of rich people.
The lower class doesn't have the means to start a revolution. The middle class, the upper class also has the means to start a revolution. That's very true.
That's true.
The resources, they have the influence.
But it's also, a lot of it is younger people who didn't earn or work for the wealth at all, basically trust fund kids. Who have their own kind of guilt complex that is actually totally disconnected from the real problems of poor people in their society. But they look for ways to kind of, scapegoat or redeem themselves.
Right.
Well, yeah, it's always more about how they feel than how, the system actually is working. Mm-hmm. So, do they feel like they can have no guilt? Well, then they wouldn't start a revolution. Do they feel like the guilt is thrust upon them by the actions of other previous generations? Then they feel like the guilt is foisted upon them.
Okay, stuff too.
Yeah, no worries.
Because, I don't know, sometimes, when you consider the real problems that people suffer from and then some of the solutions that people propose, it's well, that doesn't really, get at the core of the issue.
No. It's oftentimes it's just a way to make a certain class of people feel better about their privilege rather than actually assisting people who need the help.
It's like when we always just try to throw money at the education system, and it's we already spend more on education than any country on earth. The reason the education system doesn't work is nobody cares enough to actually consider the adjustments that would be necessary. And the kind of the radical overhaul that we would need.
Right.
The first thing we need is stop treating schools like daycares and actually treat them like places for people to learn again.
Right. I mean, that's a big part of the problem for sure. I mean, I think American schools have always been intentionally sabotaged since desegregation.
Oh, for sure, dude.
As soon as rich people were like, oh, you mean all skin colors will be able to go to the same schools? Well, then we better intentionally destroy everyone's opportunity at an education instead of providing everyone an opportunity for education.
Well, and you can see that the less politically competitive a place is, whether it's a rural or an urban area, the lower quality all public services are. People know they can get away with it.
Hey, that's true. Thor didn't give a shit about his kids.
Yeah, he really did.
His wife, Sif definitely cared, but she had to, talk him into caring in the main campaign.
Well, and his daughter cared a little bit about her brothers.
Thrud cared. Thrud did care a bit. This is another game that got cold woke.
Because of
Angrboda being black.
Angrboda, yeah.
Which is funny, because what I have to say to the people that called this game woke is... Because Angrboda, right, race swapped as a character, right? Because it's Norse mythology, and she was black.
Yeah.
But then, my question for the people who complained about that is, do you care that Atreus, Loki, was Greek? Because that's a race swap, too.
Yeah.
God him woke, am I right? But, like, that's my real serious question.
A lot of white people would have been really pissed about that 200 years ago.
Right.
Making Norse characters Italian.
But people, when this game came out, people did complain about Angrboda being black.
Yeah, I remember that.
Which, again, my question to those people is, do you care that Atreus or Loki was race swapped to be Greek?
Right.
Yeah, his skin color wasn't changed, but being changed from Norse to Greek is still an ethnic change.
Yeah, I mean,
so
the Mediterranean Europeans look pretty different from Norse Europeans.
Yeah, that's a completely different group of people, so do you give a shit about that? Does that bother you? Because if that doesn't bother you, then Angrboda shouldn't bother you.
Well, it's because of the whole, like, modern conception of whiteness being, like, all the Europeans bunched together into one pile, and that's never really been true until, like, the KKK pushed for it.
Well,
right, exactly. That's an invention of the KKK, so if you support that, then you support the KKK, which is pretty fucked up.
A worshipped figure.
Oh, that hasn't even been historically true in the American context.
Some people have way too much
Italians, Irish, Greeks. Yep. I mean, Eastern Europeans. They all got a whole bunch of shit for.
It's all different shit.
Yeah, even people of Germanic descent, like early on in this country.
Would it be an invention? I don't think it's an invention of the British. I think it's an invention of. I honestly think it's an invention of modern America.
What is?
The idea of, like, whiteness as people perceive it right now, right?
Oh,
like,
yeah,
I don't think that existed until, like, what, the 60s, 70s, 80s?
Yeah, I think it's...
Because, like, dude, if you're talking about, like, Italians as white people in, like, the 40s or 50s, they were considered a completely different group from white, right? Italians were literally...
I think it might actually
called the black people of white people, right? Like at that time. Like
I think the first origins of that might actually go as far back as the 1920s. And again, I do think it was specifically the KKK calling for an idea of white pride.
Yes, no, that's true because the KKK had such a problem with Lincoln's restoration plan. That's part of why Lincoln was assassinated in the first place, right? Just to prevent his restoration plan from happening post Civil War, and then. Once he was killed, so much of that went out the window. And the idea of, like, a white identity, it did come to exist with the KKK. I mean, the KKK did invent that shit.
But, I mean, well,
they obviously weren't the only ones who were saying that shit, but, like...
But they were a big part of it,
It's hard to say, because, I mean, I think different parts of the world have different ideas of what that means.
Well, right, absolutely. Like, if you talk about, like, if you go to Europe, I mean, most people in, like, India, right, like, Middle East people are Asian to Europeans, right? Like, that's another big difference about how different parts of the world view race.
Well,
Europe is a multicultural melting pot by now. Even before them, didn't Nazis discriminate against the Slavs? Yes, the Nazis hated Slavs.
Well, and then also, like, that's another weird thing, because the Slavs are considered white for a lot of people.
But weirdly enough, not in Russia.
Not in Russia, but, like, here, Slavic people are white people.
But before the introduction of, like, affirmative action and stuff like that, Middle Eastern people and Indian people in the U.S. considered themselves white for the purpose of census taking.
A lot of Arabs still do.
But when it...
But in Europe, they'd be Asian.
Right.
Yep.
Which, again, it shows you how pointless the
race doesn't mean anything.
Race doesn't mean anything. It's just arbitrary separation of human beings. Fucking centaurs.
Oh no, it's Centaur World.
It's where all your new friends are, girl.
I remember watching a thing about African Americans who moved to Ghana.
Yes, and they're considered. Many of them are white.
Yeah, the people in Ghana called them white because they were like some level mixed. Like, I mean, they were not light skinned. But they weren't. They weren't black the way the people in West Africa were black. So the people in West Africa said they were white. Like, it was a total opposite of the U.S., where it's like, oh, one drop in the U.S. you're black. In parts of Africa, one drop of white DNA makes you white.
Yeah. I mean, it just goes to show you how truly arbitrary all of that shit is.
Right.
I mean, it's just like depending on like your context or specific geolocation, you can just end up being anything by anyone's standard. So why put any stock in those standards in the first place?
Well, then they get even weirder stuff like
we're all just people, man.
Like that city in China that claimed that they were Romans.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, China loves to draw maps and go, this is China.
But there's a whole city where they're like, yeah, we're all the descendants of Roman soldiers because...
Based on, like, one story from Herodotus and some mention in Chinese history about a turtle formation.
Yeah, a fish scale formation.
Fish scale formation,
And it's like, that could be anything.
Yeah.
But they're like, it was Romans.
They're like, oh, it's the testudo turtle shell formation from Roman history. Like, okay.
And they got... I think if I remember correctly, they got tested and there was, like, no, like, Italian ancestry in, like, anybody in that
But I think you are talking about the area around the Tarim.
Crab people. Talk like...
Wait, look like crab,
people,
talk like people.
Look like crab, talk like people.
Talk like people.
That's gold.
But I think
that's why,
talking about the area around the Tarim Basin, which was an area populated by like nomadic steppe people.
Yeah.
And they do talk a lot about the people of the steppe being like way more genetically diverse than we give them credit for.
Oh, totally.
People said they historical accounts say that Genghis Khan had red hair and green eyes. Like, I mean,
almost Irish. Yeah.
The people on the steppe were like genetically mixed because they traveled such huge distances and interacted with such dispersed populations. They were significantly more genetically.
Well, that's why, you talk about Italians in this country, right? I mean, a large chunk of the whole idea of like Christopher Columbus being looked at as this positive figure in history comes from Italians, right? Right. Like, because like in the 40s, a lot of Italians were like looked at as this horrible underclass people, and they decided let's make up a story about Christopher Columbus that sees him more positively because that'll make Italians come across as less alien to the rest of America. Like, that's literally where the whole Christopher Columbus thing even comes from. It's just Italians trying to fit in.
Even lower than the Irish?
Oh,
Depends, man. It really depends on the year you're talking about.
Probably also where you go.
Like if you're talking about like 1942 specifically, Italians got called the N-word constantly. If you're talking about like the 1930s, probably worse for Italians. Probably worse for the Irish if you're talking about like the 30s.
It
really depends on the year.
My understanding is the Irish had it rough. Yeah.
The Irish had it worse overall.
My understanding is that the Irish had it especially bad in the late 1800s.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
I think the Italians got away with it because they came up with the Christopher Columbus lie, right? Like, they faked a story about Christopher Columbus, and then that tricked Americans into thinking Italians were Americans.
The Italians got it pretty bad, man. People forget
that.
But
only before they came up with the lie about Christopher Columbus. Because once they came up with the fake story of Christopher Columbus, that's what, like, integrated Italians into American society.
Yeah,
that is like the thing that changed how Americans thought of Italians.
To an extent, a big part of it was food too.
That's true. That's true, but that stuff kind of goes hand in hand, right?
Every immigrant,
Japanese people were seen as honorary white.
By the
depends on the year too.
What time period? We're talking in the 1940s. They were definitely not.
Yeah, not in the 40s.
Camps in America, so
yeah.
I don't know that was ever a thing in the U.S. The Germans did. The Nazis specifically declared them to be honorary Aryans.
Though it's worth pointing out that the Nazi leadership still viewed them as inferiors. Hitler famously left when the Japanese conquered Singapore, I think it was. Because he was, upset that the last bastion of the white man in Asia had been taken. Yeah.
I always thought it was funny that they called Singapore Fortress Singapore.
Yeah,
that was the nickname for it. So Churchill just assumed there was some kind of defensive structures on Singapore.
In reality, there was nothing.
There was nothing.
Nope. They didn't even have anti-tank guns.
No, dude, they got rolled by the Japanese. It was bad.
Well, part of it is they thought that the Japanese couldn't move heavy weapons to the jungle, and the Japanese were like, "You don't know anything about going to the jungle." But yeah, Asians here, they went through kind of you had very rough patches in the 1800s where, like, everybody dogpiled on Asian immigrants.
Yeah.
Like...
Dude, the railroads?
Yeah. You had, like, even all the people who got shit on as minorities in America all gathered together and like, oh, you can't let the Asians in, right?
People don't appreciate, like, how much the entire world, not even just, like, you know, the European-centric parts of the world, how much the entire world bought into the idea of the Yellow Peril, and just the idea that the population of China was so overwhelmingly massive that China could just replace every other group of people on Earth if they wanted to. That was, I mean, like, the Middle East.
That's where the whole idea of the Mandarin and Marvel Comics comes from, right? Like, it's literally
it's all
yellow
fever shit, you know?
Yeah.
But, I mean, the Indians were terrified by it. Like, the people in the Middle East were terrified by it. The European, I mean, like, almost every major power in the world really thought that eventually China would just arm its entire population and conquer the Earth. The Japanese wanted to conquer China because they wanted to use the Chinese to do that for the Japanese.
Yeah, because they viewed China as, like, basically like a free pile of resources and slaves they could use to do whatever they wanted.
That they could use for world conquest.
Yeah, and, like, obviously there was a lot of anti-Asian sentiment in the West in the 1930s and 40s. It wasn't until, like, probably the 1970s that the whole model minority thing for Asians kind of came about.
Yeah, somewhere around the 70s.
And even then, they still had, like, you know, you had the Vietnam War at that time, so, you know, a lot of people shitting on them because, like, you know...
Well, they couldn't tell the difference between the different Asian countries.
Right. Also, like, you know, a lot of Vietnamese were on our side in that war, but a lot of Americans, like, immediately get that.
Yeah, that's also true.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it was kind of during and after the Vietnam War that you had a lot of Asian refugees coming here, and they sort of created the whole model minority thing, which was mostly just a way to, like, you know, shit on whatever minorities they wanted to keep down, black people, Latinos, etc.
Yeah.
Because that's sort of the story of all of this, is just turning people against each other.
Yeah, I mean, that's the entire concept of viewing any minority as positive or negative, right? Is just to try and put down or raise up another minority in relation to them.
Right. It's all a bunch of people who have the same, like, interests because they're all part of the lower middle class, and in order for the elite to be dominating them, you have to turn them against each other.
Right.
Well, there is also the extent to which we either intentionally have throughout history intentionally kept minorities down, or a bunch of people who are just too self-righteous and, like, certain that they know all the answers have instituted policies that they found would help, and it just made things worse.
That's very true.
That's also often the case.
A lot of the times, the best thing you can do is provide opportunities and get the fuck out of the way.
But you also have to be careful with that, because if you do that in the wrong way, you're just going to create opportunities for the people who already have privileges and power, and they'll just take everything away from the people you intended to give to.
No, that is definitely true. I just know that that if there's one thing that that well-meaning people in this country have done, it's prevent black people from following the same path of every other marginalized group in this country.
Yeah, that's also
basically true. Prevented the establishment of wealth or the development of community. Or
well, they've actively destroyed black communities in many cases.
Talk about Tulsa, man.
Yep. I mean, shit, even around here, Rondo.
Yep.
That's true.
Well,
they built the highways. Local one.
They built the highways through them. That's a big part of the problem. But even that didn't have to be the death knell if it wasn't for the fact that we provided all of these so-called solutions that just empowered, you know, outside businesses to come and crush all the businesses in the community.
Right.
Basically take agency away from people.
Oh, back again. Still not used to that.
Welcome back, Kratos.
I do always enjoy how we go from subject to subject.
Yeah, we do bounce.
Oh yeah, we talk about absolute, just, I mean, anything, right?
Right.
There's a big-ass katana.
Oh, shit.
Nice.
He went to Japan.
There's even a little bit of like an Asian tint to the music there.
And this is the hardest boss fight. This is the final one.
Oh, he's pulling the weapons out.
Yeah, I don't know if we can... We'll see if we beat him on the first try this time, but...
You should have some rage pretty soon.
Hopefully we got the right upgrades.
Yeah, right, some of us just kind of random RNG mechanics.
That spear really is quick.
Some people say Gal Gadot is a POC. I say no with you.
She's
Jewish.
I refuse to get into the conversation about what being Jewish is, or
that is a minefield.
I have I don't know whether it's an ethnicity or religion.
That's how I thought about Legos sucking toes and racism on the span.
Yeah, well, you know, only this stream
It'd be about racism, sucking toes, and Legos. Yeah, we'll talk about anything, man. We will talk about anything on the show.
But I don't know of a thing that's harder to define than Jewish.
Yeah.
Than what Jewish actually is.
Jewish people all disagree on whether it's a race, an ethnicity, a religion,
yeah, that's
a
also
social class. Like there's. So
I think it depends on what you take advantage of it for, right? Like, if you use it to be privileged, right, in a racial way, then it's racial. If you don't, then it's not, right? Like,
yeah, I don't know, man. I have no idea.
I didn't even know Gal Gadot was
yeah, she's Israeli.
She's Israeli, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But it
really depends. I mean, do you think Jewish people are white? Because Hitler didn't think so.
Oh. A lot of white supremacists now still don't.
Yeah, a lot of white supremacists would say Jewish people are not white because they're another race that needs to go.
A lot of people also do.
But a lot of people do consider Jewish people.
Well, a lot of people. Look,
because,
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know the answer to that. I really don't.
And you're never going to answer it in a way that doesn't piss somebody off.
Right.
Right. Like somebody's going to be upset by that answer, no matter what you're talking about.
We saw you open in the scrying pool. What was inside exactly?
Yeah, halfway down. There can be black Jewish people or Asian Jewish people. There can be white Jewish people. That's true.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's 100%
Personally,
true.
I've met Jewish people who all look extremely different from each other. You know, ones with red hair, ones with black hair, ones who look like Arabs. They can be anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's 100. And also, like, the term Semite, right, can mean Jewish, Asian, or Phoenician.
Yeah.
Right, like that. Like the term Semite does not specifically mean Jewish.
The Palestinians are Semites.
The Palestinians are Semites themselves, so like
they
that.
might not be Jewish, but they are.
But they are Semites, yeah. So like that. Yeah, it's. I mean, again, it really illustrates just how kind of pointless sometimes the racial divisions between human beings actually are, because like they do just mean completely different things depending on what part of the world you actually come from. Like, just how, like somebody that's mixed race in America is black, and somebody that's mixed race in Africa is white. Right, even if they look the same.
I mean, hell, that's the whole thing for mixed race people is, like, trying to fit in, like, in the society that they're part of, when, like, going into a different group, you'll be white or black, you know, even if you're kind of both.
Right, exactly, yeah, I mean, it's like, but instead of both being acknowledged, one gets acknowledged.
Right.
I mean, that's where the whole term colorism comes from, right?
Or think about all the mixed race people who,
Gal Gadot may or may not
be
she's
a good actor.
Definitely not a good actor.
She was good in the first Wonder Woman, but I do think that's largely because of the director. I don't think on her own she's all that great. I think she needs a good director to point
She made
her.
that amazing Imagine video.
That shit
You
was
shut the fuck up.
Oh my god. Don't even talk to me. COVID was one of the cringiest experiences of my life.
Celebrities during COVID, dude.
No, just everything about COVID was.
But especially the celebrities.
Yes,
especially celebrities.
I don't know, just all the people during COVID that,
Yeah, don't fuck it up now. So close.
Oh shit, dude, come on. Is there any help?
You just dropped a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Need it.
Oh shit, dude.
Kind of missed the social distancing from COVID.
Well, I agree with you, Tyson Fox, because I'm a recluse anyway.
I miss people making those videos of themselves shaking from the COVID shot.
God. I don't know.
I'm a recluse, so I just like being alone. For the most part.
I can't stand like self-righteousness and hypocrisy, and I've never seen an event in my life that invited every group of human beings to be a self-righteous hypocrite about some aspect of COVID. It drove me fucking up the world.
Yeah, dude.
We're almost done. Don't get hit.
Yeah, this is like one hit
Can
either way.
Can you use your rage? You might as well if you can.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Oh, that was close.
Whew! There we go.
He puts up a fight, even on easy.
He does. No, even on easy. The real tier is actually tough.
I yield.
Hard fought.
Well, like, yeah, no, the COVID hypocrisy is something special.
Oh, yeah.
You remember how every conservative said the vaccine was awesome because Trump was making it, and every liberal said the vaccine they wouldn't take it because Trump was making it, and then after the election they were like, no, it completely flipped 100%.
Yep. Well, what about China, where they're like, they had people fucking boxed in, like welded into their apartments for months?
Yep.
And then when enough people got pissed about all that, China was just like, COVID? What COVID? There was no COVID.
And hope still lived inside you from that day to this one.
Yeah, 100%, dude. Hypocrisy just comes out of people.
Yeah.
When they're scared, especially.
Mm-hmm.
Box or no box, Kratos. Hope and fear and love and hate exist in every one of us.
Yeah, okay, there's more bad than good stuff about COVID.
Well, yeah, I mean, you look at liberals, right? Like, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris were both like, you can't trust that vaccine, don't take that vaccine. Trump made that vaccine, it's evil, you should never take that vaccine. And then as soon as the election happened, they were like, no, you can't question that vaccine.
And then meanwhile, Trump, who had been championing the vaccine, is like his idea, it was so great, he's going to save America, it was like, you can't take the vaccine.
Well,
right, it's just both sides flipped up.
No. All of Trump's supporters were like, no, we don't trust that vaccine. One of the funniest things was to watch Trump try to brag about that vaccine.
I do remember
his
that.
His own supporters boo him about it.
But he did do an about-face, essentially.
It took a moment for attack.
Well, it eventually became a political calculation for him, I think, where he's like, oh, I can't brag about this anymore. But he really tried to be like, and we got that done so fast, and people at his rallies were like, boo!
Even though before the election they supported it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
Oh, here's your big climax.
That it did not. A god of war. God of pain. Of suffering. Of destruction.
I don't know. It's just amazing to watch people forget. Because liberals seem to think they were always in support of the vaccine, and conservatives think they were always against it, even though they were the exact opposite.
Well, I think what drove me
election.
the craziest during COVID was that there were a lot of people who didn't trust the vaccine that were just praying massive amounts of people would die so they'd be right.
Oh, yeah.
And then you had people that did believe in the vaccine who wanted to see the people who didn't believe in the vaccine literally put in internment camps. And I was like, wow, shit got really dark.
It doesn't take much, man. But then you had all the people going, well, old people should die for the good of the economy.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy, man.
Everything. And everyone.
There's just nobody's able to be consistent, man.
You begin. There is no forgiving you. You chose.
Also, we did it. This is the ending.
Sweet.
Should I say
Right on schedule.
Should I sit, take, proclaim, lead, place myself in service? Service. Should I lose everything and everyone? There's to be enough inside so that I do not become you. selfish.
Kratos is consistent.
I don't know if we asked about Kratos' thoughts on COVID yet.
Yeah, that's true. We haven't gotten his COVID thoughts.
True.
Is he getting vaccinated, or is he taking them horse tranquilizers? Sorry, horse dewormers. That's what they were.
I mean, that whole thing that's its own whole can of worms.
No, deworms.
Next pandemic, I'm going to hop on the conspiracy train and see if I'm going to get some good Lego sets out of it. Hey, why not? Right? Yeah. As long as you get Legos, right?
Well, what are they talking about now? Disease X?
Disease X?
What?
What?
What the fuck is that?
What's Disease X?
I don't know. They're talking
like
about it
X?
No, they're talking about it at Davos right now.
Oh, well, that means they're making it.
Oh, okay.
Right now.
Yeah, they're talking about Disease X and how that might be coming around sometime soon.
Is that just
I know,
yeah, like a hypothetical disease.
Right.
Well, I know that one of the big concerns is chronic wasting disease.
Oh, yeah, that's the thing. It has the zombie deer.
Yeah, the zombie deer, which that they definitely have been talking about how that could spread to people.
Zombie deer are going to bite us.
But look at that. Kratos has accepted his role as the new god of war for the Nordic pantheon, and how that doesn't have to be...
Be right back.
But he accepted his destiny as the All-Father.
Did you find what you needed?
He's got to pull his eye out, though.
We're done here then, so, what now?
Now,
It is surprising that this is free.
Dude, you could have easily charged $20 to $30 for this as an expansion, and people would have paid for it and not complained.
Yeah. I mean, this is, like, actual story and, like, quite a bit of, like, you know, gameplay. I mean, yeah, some of it's reused assets, but I mean, that's kind of part of
it's being
DLC.
a roguelike, it makes sense, too,
Right.
for it to be that way. Plus, like, I mean, not only that, but, like, there's also a lot more dialogue and story that we didn't even get playing through it here because we did it so
Yeah, because
quickly.
we just one and done, right?
Yeah, like, I mean, there's a whole bunch of dialogue about Mir and, like, the Celtic mythology that he comes from, and, like, stories from
I assume that,
King
like, you get a
Arthur
lot of that
and
on
stuff.
death and stuff, right? Because, I mean, that's kind of
Yes.
like how Hades, like, a big part of that game is you're supposed to die a lot to get the story.
Yes, exactly. No, 100%. It's totally like that. And then, like, I mean, they talk about King Oberon.
Is it better to be Allfather or Zeus? Probably Allfather, because at least then you're not necessarily a rapist.
Yeah, Odin is not necessarily a rapist. Zeus
is always a
rapist. Zeus is a hardcore fucking, like, perma-rapist. I'm just going to use the bathroom real quick while the credits are going here.
Yeah, I don't know any version of Greek mythology where Zeus isn't a fucked up pervert.
I mean, not only is he fucked up pervert, he turns into animals.
Yeah.
He's a bestiality.
He's a furry.
Yeah.
Yes, he's the first furry.
The first
original
furry.
furry, yeah.
The original furry, yeah, that's good. Ugh.
Oh.
Fuck, it's dark here. We can't even see us on, like, the camera anymore. It's like,
Yeah,
we're just like fucking shadows of, like,
sun went down.
yeah. There's no fucking light in here. I guess anybody looking at the camera right now is probably pretty miffed because they're like, what the fuck's the point of having this on here?
I don't know. Who cares about our faces? Is that like a big thing?
Well, I think people might be pissed because they can't see the dog.
Oh, I suppose.
Yeah. Because, I mean, realistically, that's what people come to the street
People
for.
are here for the dog.
Yeah, dog or the cats. That's wander back and forth.
That's legit. That's legit.
I mean, I know Sage just joked about this, but you could just make a 24-hour stream that's literally just a sleeping cat. People would watch that shit.
For sure. Yeah, definitely. People like cats.
Yeah. Oh, interesting thing that I saw the other day. There's this pack of wolves in western China, right?
Okay.
And the Omega wolf, the pack, right? It had kind of been kicked around, was getting enough to eat.
Okay.
So it got exiled from the pack and kind of just wandered off on its own, right?
Okay.
And it eventually learned to wander to this highway and to just kind of sit there and look pathetic and beg. And cars would stop and they'd like throw the wolf like little cakes and shit for it to eat.
Sure, yeah.
And so like in a matter of like weeks, it basically just became a dog. Like you could just drive up to it, stop the car, get out, pet it, give it food.
I mean, that's how they think dogs got domesticated. Was humans would just
Talk about animal domestication.
Yeah.
Throw bones and stuff around the campfire, and then the dogs would come up and start chewing on them, and slowly they'd get closer and closer to the people.
Mm-hmm. And then this Omega Wolf, it became like a big deal.
Omega Wolf? What are we talking about here?
It became like a big deal where it sort of became like the alpha of its own little group. Because it got real fat from all the highway food, all the cakes people were throwing in.
Nice. Highway
throwing cakes?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh, I love a good highway cake. I do love the variety of topics that we go across. I mean, I feel like a lot of
Jesus, what's going on?
drunk legs. That's what's going on.
I bet all the cars that stopped were women because they wanted to pet the puppy. Not just women. Everybody wants to pet puppies.
Honestly, though, I do think that
women are cute. Nothing. I swear to God. If it's cute, anyway.
Yeah, if it's cute. But no, I mean, I genuinely think that's part of the fun of the stream is, I see so many streams, and, a lot of times you go into a stream on Twitch, and you'll if you start to enter something into the chat, there'll be, a little message or a warning thing, right when the first time you try, when you do a first time type thing, where it'll say, don't say anything political, or don't talk about these subjects, or whatever. There's a lot of restrictions on that. We don't have anything like that.
I mean, we have certain obvious restrictions, right?
Well,
don't come in here and just be a Nazi or some shit.
Right. I mean, I do have a little thing on the channel that says, don't be a fucking racist asshole. But, for the most part, it's bring up any subject, and we'll have a conversation about it.
Right.
And I do think of most Twitch streams just trying to avoid some of these subjects entirely, just to not cause controversy, but, I don't know, man. It's people want to have conversations about interesting things, and, things that are real and happening
things that,
in the world.
affect people in
their
lives.
For sure, dude.
I don't know,
I mean,
man.
what else are you supposed to talk about?
Exactly.
Talk about
I mean, the other thing is that, how many, there's a lot of people that don't have real-life friends in the modern world, too.
So today I want to talk about my feelings.
All right, Tyson, what's going on with your feelings?
Yeah, man.
Women.
No. Tell us about your feelings. I want to know. What's going on? What are you feeling?
We're going to be your therapists.
We're
totally, completely unlicensed.
Yes, completely unlicensed. You got to know that going in. But then, on top of that, what are your feelings?
Yeah, that's the guy with the...
Oh, no. Whatever your problems are, I think you can solve them by trying cannibalism.
We have a collective
That's
EQ
his answer
of
every time.
0.5.
0.5 collective intelligence.
Definitely EQ.
EQ, yeah, that's accurate.
Hell yeah, dude. We totally did that in one stream.
Yeah.
I was hoping we could. I wasn't 100% sure we'd be able to pull it off, but...
You did good, dude.
Kratos basically had a therapy session with Tyr.
And now we're having a therapy session with Tiresome Fox.
Yeah, it's like poetry. It rhymes.
There you go.
You know, Tiresome Fox, I think it's probably about your relationship with your mother.
Why are you doing a German accent?
It's like how therapists talk.
They all have German accents.
Yeah, our therapists all German.
I don't know. Austrian and Swiss and whatnot, right?
Well, how much do they talk about shit during therapy?
Yeah, really.
I don't know. Therapy's from that part of the world, dude. I don't know. That's where they do that.
Is that where therapy comes from?
Freud was Austrian.
Entirely?
Freud was Austrian.
Right.
I think Adler was German. Jung was
It all
Swiss.
started when I was 6.
Well, what were you feeling when you were 6? How did you feel about your parents at 6 years old?
Did you eat the Legos because you were angry at your parents?
Oh, man. Well, so since we finished this in one sitting, next week is either... It's a good question. What sounds more interesting to you guys? The Terminator first-person shooter made by the same people that made the RoboCop game?
Do I get to check other Terminator's IDs?
I don't think that's a part of it.
I still want that Papers, Please Terminator.
No, I don't want to talk about it anymore. You made fun of my Legos. No. We just love your Legos.
Well, we don't even know what kind of Legos you played with. I mean, was it the night Legos, the city Legos?
We just want to incorporate Legos into the therapy.
Does it change the feelings you have for your parents depending on what genre of Legos you played with?
The Legos have a genre?
Yeah.
All right.
Every Lego has a agenda.
But no. So,
this is not a safe space.
Alright,
I would describe this channel as not a safe space.
A non-safe space?
I would describe this channel as the non-safe space.
What?
We're pretty rowdy, man. I mean, like,
what?
I've taken at least 2 shots of vodka and had 2 beers in the time that we've been drinking. I don't know. That doesn't sound like a safe space.
Well, now I just want to know if Tiresome Fox plays with, like, the Lion Knight Legos and the Sea Raider Legos.
I just feel like this is a place where, like, you can be vulnerable if you want to.
Is it?
Well, maybe. It depends on what kind of vulnerable.
Will Smith couldn't be vulnerable.
That's true.
We'd tear him to pieces.
And then he can come here and slap us.
Yeah, they can slap us for it. So, like...
I don't know, man. I mean...
You've been drinking as my therapist? I want to refund. Well, that's what you paid for when you came here.
Well, you drove him to it.
No.
I'm sorry, Tiresome Fox.
We really appreciate you.
You're the
really
best. You're my favorite Dutch person.
How many Dutch people do you know?
Yeah, that was going to be my question.
I don't know, but Tiresome Fox is my favorite.
That's true. We could all say that you're our favorite Dutch person.
Yeah, I think I only know one. So by default...
I mean, fair enough. No, but we really do appreciate you being here. All of you guys. Afternoon Tune, Tiresome Fox. See, we had the first time chatter.
Yeah, say hello, Sarah was here.
Say hello, Sarah was here.
My favorite Dutch person.
And that means
That's good. I like that.
you live there.
That's true. You know more Dutch people than we do.
Yeah.
So that actually has more. Yeah.
We also have an expert on Dutch people we can trust, which is also our favorite Dutch person.
It's good.
No, but for real, we really do appreciate you being here, honestly. It makes the streams that much more entertaining. I mean, we obviously have fun amongst ourselves, but having people in the chat makes it far more fun.
For sure. Yeah.
Being able to talk to people from around the world, from wherever location they are.
You get more variation in the book.
Yeah, it's like, we've spent like over a decade talking to each other. So.
Yeah, we just bullshit as like that's like our thing. That's like our main thing. But being able to bullshit with other people from around the world, that makes this whole stream Twitch thing all worth it, honestly.
Yeah. Duran Romaldo.
Ricardo Camacho. Damn, these sound like porn aliases.
That's why I like you guys. That's like, honestly, when I stream with Tim, when I stream with Michael, we don't watch the credits. I only watch the credits when I stream with YouTube because I know you'll read the name.
Oh, I thought that said Goblin Rye, but it's Goben Rye.
Goben Rye.
Rose.
Well, okay, now that we're at this point,
always happy to be here.
Hey, no, we genuinely appreciate you, all of you guys. Tiresome Fox, Afternoon Tune, all of you guys. You make this more stuff worth it. Did you even say a name just now?
No, you
Can you say Vaishnavi Shervin?
That was like some crazy finish.
Can you say that?
What about Assad Kizzlebash?
I like Kizzlebash.
Kizzlebash. That's actually kind of badass.
That sounds like a Pokemon.
Bashing those Kizzles.
Anne Marie Lee.
Legit.
Damn, that's 3 first names.
So okay, but actually, I'm genuinely asking both of you. What sounds more interesting to you? A first-person shooter made by the same people that made RoboCop, about the Terminator franchise, about the future war, right?
Okay.
Short game, probably 2 streams long.
Sure.
Or the Many Pieces of Mr. Coup, a hand-animated, 2D animated PC-style adventure game harkening back to the early 90s with kind of nonsense adventure game logic that'll probably last us 1 stream.
We can play that Mr. Cum game.
The Many Pieces of Mr. Cum.
Yeah, let's do the German game first.
Yeah. All right, we'll do that. We'll do that next.
Mr. Pooh game.
Whatever you said, dude.
All right, I want your guys' input. I really do. What?
Jess Furmansky.
We can let the chat vote.
That's true. To be fair, I mean, what do you guys in the chat think? Terminator game or the many pieces of Mr. Coup?
Everybody's probably left by now.
Everybody's gone.
Mr. Coup.
I'm telling you, this game's great. I'm telling you, from what I've seen, the many pieces of Mr. Crew looks awesome.
Stanislaus Robert. That's a really awesome name stuck to a really generic name.
I thought somebody's name
All right, everybody wants the many pieces of Mr. Crew then.
That person's name actually was Omni-Channel Tokyo.
That'd be a great name.
Okay, though, but actually, though.
Yeah, we can play.
Yeah, let's do the Mr. Pooh game.
Emily Figueredo.
Figurito.
Are you Italian or Dracula?
Italian Dracula.
Why not both?
Priyanka Petrov.
Why not both, man?
Huh.
Why can't I be an Italian Dracula?
It's the blood in the bolognese that they call yummy.
I ordered the tomato sauce. Mamma mia.
I mean, I am super Italian, so like...
And a vampire.
Apparently,
well, you are the palest one.
Dude, I'm telling you,
You kinda got vampire facial.
Based on the women that always express interest in me, I do have like a visual aesthetic that represents like the vampires in Buffy
like
or Twilight
yeah.
or like those sorts of stories.
You gotta change your name to Edward Cullen.
I'm not doing that. No, I'm not going to be shovel face. Come on.
You gotta start putting glitter on yourself so you glitter in the dark or whatever it is.
Yeah,
Something like that.
shine in the
The
sun.
women that do express interest in me always seem to be fans of vampire fiction.
Truly hope you never attempt a Dutch accent.
Was that me?
All of us, probably.
I can only do the Dutch accent from Austin Powers, which I don't think is the most accurate.
I can do some voices, but not a lot. Like, I can do JFK.
Yeah.
I can do Obama.
All of you.
I feel like
How do you do a Dutch accent?
Like I said, I can only do the Austin Powers one, but you just go like high pitch kind of like, hey everybody, I'm from Holland. Isn't that weird? I'm not sure if that's accurate.
You sound like an excitable German.
Yeah, you sound more German than anything, honestly.
I mean, Dutch people speak a Germanic language. They're right next to Germany.
I suppose
yeah,
that's
fair. But I mean, if it's that close to German, I'm just going to default to
they just sound happier.
voice.
I think the big difference is they just sound happier.
That's also a fair point.
Right, they don't sound as evil. Cool.
No, I can do a few voices. Like, I could do...
Do one now.
And do Australian.
Do Australian. Do it.
Do Australian.
Yeah.
Do it.
Oh, yeah. I went down to the supermarket and I, saw the lady. She said, do you want to have a big sausage in your mouth? And I said, I could...
I can do a few, but I'm trying to remember. The ones I'm capable of. There's a few. I can do JFK for sure.
You can do
It's basically like, think of Ray Romano.
nasally, yeah.
Think of the nasally Ray Romano, but then add robot on top of it.
Interesting.
We fight the Cuban line of defense.
But I can't really do accents either, that's for sure.
I can do a couple of characters.
Not a skill.
I can do George Bush. I can definitely do George W. Bush. I have a good George Bush.
Dutch accent sounds like if a potato suddenly got the ability to talk. That's an amazing description.
I love that. I fucking love that, Tyson Fox. That's great. It's beautiful. Now, I can do George W. Bush, though. The key is to pretend that you're chewing on the next thing you're gonna say. That's George W. Bush, right? You're chewing on the next thing you're gonna say, and you're looking directly at the sun. Those are the two keys.
Yeah, you always have the squint going on.
Exactly. Those are the two keys to doing a good George W. Bush voice. Where he's like, well, I mispronunciated the idea that we were going into Iraq. Because they got weapons of mass destruction, you see. They got that yellow cake over there. Bill Clinton's not too bad, honestly, either. He's got that whole, we're going to Mars to get that green pussy.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Depends on what the definition of the word is.
American presidents do.
Honestly, Obama's not that hard. Obama is more about the cadence.
Obama's cadence.
Obama's entirely based on cadence. It's about the speed of the way that
you just need to pause every 3 to 5 words.
It's about how
you speed up, and then you pause. It's about
how. I'm so happy I stayed in chat to witness this.
It's about how you speak the first sentence of the word pretty slow, and then you speed up at the end. That's Obama. That's all Obama's voice is. It's literally talking fast at the beginning and then slowing down at the end. You speed up at the beginning of the sentence, and then you say the end of the word slow. That's the entirety of Obama's voice.
It kind of is, yeah.
It's all about speed. It's got there's literally nothing else that even goes into it. Well, I don't know who's with us anymore.
Right.
We scared everybody off.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for being around for the stream.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Tyson Fox, Afternoon Tune. We love all of you guys. Thank you for being with us. Let's see if there's anybody worth rating on at the moment.
All right. I actually got a jet break.
All right,
man. No worries.
Catch you around.
Have a good night, man. We'll see you next Tuesday for sure.
Yeah.
Thanks for the stream. Hey, thank you guys.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here. Welcome to the Discord server, by the way. Honestly, I should try and start being in the Discord server more.
Yeah,
I should make an effort just to send memes should I send to you guys?
Yes, you should. Yes, you should. Let's start trying to do that. Honestly, are you in the Discord server?
I don't know if I am.
I'll send you a direct link on Messenger. We should all the 4 of us, or the 5 of us, including Tim.
Yeah, we gotta rope him into this too.
Yeah, we should start trying to maintain that as like a chat server a little bit more. Let's see.
Yeah, we gotta act professional all of a sudden.
I don't know about that.
Like we're some sort of streamers or some shit like that.
We're some kind of Suicide Squad. Well, you know that it's like that movie, The Suicide Squad, where you only know if they're doing what they're doing if you say it 8 million times. Have a good night, Alex. Thank you, as always.
Good night, everybody.
See ya.
We'll see you next week for the many pieces of Mr. Koo.
Mr. Cum.
We gotta close out on that, I think. I don't know. I don't think we got anything else to add that's going to top that.
I'm just trying to find somebody to raid,
Well, hurry up. There can't be that many people.
Well, the problem is there's not as many as you would hope.
No, nobody's online.
I'm trying to think of somebody good to raid over to, but I'm not really seeing that.
Well, who's even on right now?
Jeez, not that much, man. Not that much.
I don't know. You could. I don't know.
Let's do the Moon Cocoon.
There you go.
He's a pretty cool guy. I don't know. Again, I don't even know who else is here other than Tyson Fox. You're the only one I've seen.
Probably the only one.
But we do seriously appreciate you and everybody else that's here. Thank you for hanging out and listening to our stupid conversation.
But whatever the fuck we were talking about, I don't even remember.
Whatever the hell
it's all just sort of a blur in my mind.
It's kind of a blur. I mean, racism,
Legos,
ass fucking Legos. Who knows? Who knows what's going to come up?
Clinching.
I don't know what that means. It might mean anal. I don't know. That could be all it means. But it could mean something else.
But it means you're getting glinched.
Yeah, like some sort of glitching of me.
Like the Grinch that stole Christmas.
The Grinch that stole the ass that stole Christmas.
The ass.
Have a good night, everybody. We'll see you later.
Jesus.